Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Hello, I'm Chris Solo, and welcome to the Fabled 42, where we build community through friendship, gaming, and chaos. You're watching the Realms of Ukodor, and you can catch us every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at mixer.com/Fabled42. We're at
A little midweek mayhem.
We're at 87% of our partner goal here at Mixer. So go ahead and continue to spread the word. And we'll continue to grow as we do. Until then, the only two ways to support the stream is through our Ember system. That is through Mixer. You can go through the About section. I'm hearing an echo. Someone's listening to the stream. So the Ember system, you go ahead and donate Embers for healing potions or inspiration die and so on. You just have to make sure to tag the moderator or myself, and we'll be able to bring that into the game as quickly as possible. The other way is through our Patreon. We have 3 subscription tiers, $5, $10, and $20. Each one gives you 2 healing potions or 2 inspiration die to do the same thing. So you can go ahead and donate those through the system as well. So anyway, shout out to our sponsors, longtime sponsors, Griffin Co. Everything that you see that is 3D printed is from Griffin Co. So go ahead and check them out.
Griffin Co.
We will soon be Vorpal powered, so go ahead and check out the Vorpal board Kickstarter. They're live right now. It's the best way to play remote tabletop games with your friends, so please go check them out. Master Monk Gaming, all our dice trays and systems are from Master Monk, so please check them out. They have a Kickstarter coming out soon as well, so stay tuned for that, for windowed dice boxes. Pretty exciting. Tabletop Things, our boats and docking systems are from Tabletop Things, so please check them out. Roll20, our mid-show giveaway is brought to you by Roll20, so stick around for that. 8-Bit Coffee Co. We are a partner sponsor with 8-Bit Coffee Co. So go ahead and check them out. They are premium subscription-based coffee that is mailed to your door. So please check them out. It's a cool place. Speaking of subscription-based, we also have Critical Dice, which I believe some of our party members had purchased some recent Critical Dice, which is subscription-based dice packages, and they're super fun little kits, never-before-seen stuff. So go check them out. All of our trees are from Plaid Elephant Props, so please check them out for your custom tree designs. Our music is brought to you by Derek and Brandon Fichter, so all the music that you hear in the hold screens and throughout the show is from them. Check them out. And last but not least, new on the docket is Plus One Crafting. Tristan, another player from Origins of Ukodor, makes some really awesome terrain pieces, and we have some cool pieces that will be, getting into the mix of things here soon. So it's really exciting stuff. So let's see what else we got here. We did do I already forgot the name. Well, that's just fun.
We did it. It's so hard we forgot the name.
I was going to say that. You stole my words.
Oh my god. So congratulations, Dad the DM on Instagram. You won yourself the Middle Earth 5th edition package. Go ahead and DM me for that information if you did not see the Instagram post. But speaking of that, we are going to do another one here on this old stream. So enter !raffle to enter the final Middle Earth 5th edition package, which includes a bunch of books. You get the Lore Master screen, Lore Master guide, the Player's Handbook, 4 regional guides, and 5 adventure guides. So that is happening right now. So go ahead and !raffle to enter that giveaway. Make sure you claim it once that winner is announced. Otherwise, it will go through and pick another winner.
Wait, that's one giveaway?
Hold on. So it's claim?
Yes, !claim to claim the raffle. And yes, that is all one. That's all one giveaway of $450 value going right now.
Oh my god!
At 25, at 25 live viewers, we're still giving away Grip, which is a racing game plus some downloadable content. 50 live viewers, we will give away Middle Earth: Shadow of War.
It's not a racing game.
It is a racing game. It's a shitty racing game, but it's a racing game. And our mid-show giveaway is Them Fighting Herds, which I don't know if you've seen it. It looks kind of adorable. It's a bunch of mythical creatures that are fighting. It's kind of fun. Go ahead and check them out. A few last announcements, real quick. We are on podcast, so if you have Podbean or Spotify, iTunes, you can find the Fable 42 network on most podcast networks and all that jazz. We only have episode 1 through 12 of the Realms of Ukodor on there. We're currently processing the rest of them. Once we get to episode 62 or 63 of Realms of Ukodor, we'll start integrating the Origin shows so we can have those alternating. Otherwise, we'll get lost in the endless realms abyss of episodes. Fables of Ukodor is starting on March 1st, which is DM'd by Jason Russell of Critical Dice, which is super exciting.
Ooh.
Can't wait for that.
Cool.
And our Middle Earth 5th edition monthly one-shot campaign is also starting in mid-March, which is DM'd by Chris Sizemore of Origin, so please check that out as well.
Is that full?
What's that?
Do you have every player for that?
We're going to bring in other alternating players too, so it's going to be a once a month one shot. So it'll be about a 6 to 8 hour one shot every month for a few months, and then we'll bring other people in. Yeah, I get to play in it. I'm excited. Other than that, brain's exhausted. So let's get ready for the next chapter of the Realms of
Ukodor.
We could play more board games
And D&D.
but it can be hard to get everyone together in person. If only there was a way for our online friends to join us at the table. Introducing Vorpal Board, the platform that makes it fun and easy to play all of your physical board games
And D&D.
online with anyone in the world, using the actual pieces. Simply attach your smartphone to the table using the included mounting arm, set up the card scanning box, and launch the Vorpal Board web application in your browser. Your friends can see the entire game on their tablet, laptop, or PC, along with integrated video and audio chat for everyone who is playing. Using the Vorpal Board smartphone app, the game host can scan cards or tiles for any of the remote players that can then be added to their hand and kept secret. Remote players can zoom in on the board, roll dice, see each other's pointers, trade or play cards, and use counters just as if they were sitting at the table. Need to take a break? The Vorpal Board app will save your game right where you left off, so you can jump back in later. Don't let life or distance get in the way. Play the games
And D&D.
you love with your friends anywhere at any time with Vorpal Board. It's your move. We all wish.
Welcome to the Realms of Ukodor.
And we're
Always
back.
have it on.
And we're back. So as we settle in, last we left the show, the party had just defeated Zuko by way of Dragon Jadobi eating his entire body and leaving his head on the ground. They noticed a dark shape kind of circling the... I'm still hearing that echo, guys. There's a dark shape circling the bubble, and eventually emerged another dragon that was much larger, an elder black dragon, landed on the ground. Definitely didn't like the false dragon Jadobi form, and fight ensued. Jadobi was able to maintain the attention of this dragon for the majority of the fight, while the others were able to whittle it down. Eventually, Jadobi was knocked out of his form, but only for a short while. Jadobi was able to pounce back as another fresh adult dragon. Continued the fight. Denahi and Cerise climbed up on top of this dragon, with a finishing blow from Denahi, crushing his throat with I lost it.
Shatter.
Thank you. Yeah, the echo thing is really throwing me off. I'm hearing my voice like 3 seconds later. So after the dust settled, the party had regrouped, kind of settled into the situation now that all the enemies have been defeated. Jadobi sat processing the loss of their friend Remus. Cerise, very curious about an item that Jadobi had on his person, failed her intelligence save. Instantly, all time stood still. Everything kind of went gray. She saw the glowing item in Jadobi's bag, reached and pulled out a card. Before Jadobi could even realize what was happening, Cerise had a card in her hand. She pulled the Joker, which means she pulls a card for every person that she sees within 60 feet of her current location, which was everybody. Torque pulled the Grudge card. Varus pulled the Obsessed. Tallulah, the Enemy. Jadobi, the Empowered. Denahi, the Lucky. And Cerise, with a lucky damn roll, the Wish card. After receiving these items, curses, and blessings, they continued to investigate the area. Jadobi investigated the cracked dragon egg up on the altar, realizing that there was a sun-shaped item or hole in this space. Remembering that they just found a item of similar making, took the item from, I believe, Torque, and placed it into this locking mechanism. Instantly, the platform that was surrounding it, that was covered by dirt, gravel, and all sorts of like coral life, submerged down 20, 30 feet in the ground, revealing another door with a similar locking mechanism. Jadobi walked towards that, placed the key in that door as well, opening it up, revealing a long corridor with trinkles of gold here and there. At the end of this corridor, with the help of Nico, the Phoenix, lighting up the entire space and eventually lighting up the entire vault that they walked into. Thousands of gold pieces and silver and even some platinum and other items filled this vault space. At the center of this space was a teleportation circle. After careful investigation from Cerise, she realized there was also a hidden sigil of some sort of private one-way kind of transport circle within this circle. Neither were currently activated, but she was able to discern some of the magical properties of that. The party decided to investigate the piles and piles of gold, looking for treasure and other things, and to continue to investigate this entire space, this vault that they just happened to walk into. That's where we pick up. So what would you all like to do?
So, Cerise wants to know, like, how safe she feels in this place. Does it seem, like, from what she knows, if anything...
You can do an insight check on the space.
It's a natural 20!
Hey, way to start!
As the space illuminated, it does reveal the entire space, and as you kind of look around and you kind of get a sense of the entire vault area, it's eerie because it's a vault. It's eerie because it's old, but after kind of fluttering around a little bit, you feel like the space itself is relatively safe. There is a door system on the other side of the vault, though, that you entered. That has a doorway and some stairs leading to two other doorways, and that main doorway does have a like a half pillar pylon. It's about 4 feet up with a slightly 45-degree angled face on it with the same symbol of the sun in that space. And as you're kind of looking around, you're flying around, Varus looks to Jadobi after the last conversation they had. He only filled up like 2 regular knapsacks of coin, which maybe equals 1,000 gold pieces. I thank you for your help. I'm going to take Sindri up topside. I need to communicate with my father. I tell him I am alive. When you are done here and whatnot, we'll wait for you, and then we'll go back to the city. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me. All
right. Enjoy your spoils of war. And he turns and then the turtle starts to kind of hobble out of there.
Let us know if anything happens up there. We'll be able as soon as we can.
Will do.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just kind of walking around and trying to keep Denahi from kind of going too crazy with all the jewels she's seeing. I just see her like flopping over like a pile of gold and jewels, just drooling. Like Denahi, Denahi. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I look to my team to see what everyone else is doing. What is Torque doing? I look at him first.
What am I doing? I'm just walking.
Okay. So the last we left you all started to investigate. So if you're kind of digging through the gold and trinkets and all those items, and you're looking for anything of note, you can go roll an investigation check.
Oh god, that was the worst investigation I've ever rolled.
As I recall, somebody was casting Detect Magic to look for magical items. That might have been Denahi. I don't know.
She did it for Nico.
Nico would have done that.
Yeah.
So, go ahead and Cerise, roll a perception check for Denahi for me.
Sure.
I'll tell you what her plus is in a second.
Well, that was a much less good roll. That was a 3.
Oh, she has a +0, so that's... So,
I did have a D10 inspiration. Can I use that? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, you could. So,
yeah, I just used it and it's garbage too. So I got a whole 6.
So because Denahi did the detect magic and kind of had these items glow, you all communicate with Nico. So go ahead and roll perception checks with advantage. How about that?
Oh,
to
boy.
see if you can identify where these magical items are.
Well, with advantage, it's a natural 20 again.
Okay.
I have a 36.
A 36?
Vampire.
Wait. Hold on, what were we rolling?
I rolled a 19.
Was that perception?
Yes.
With advantage, right?
Yep.
Perception with advantage gives me a 24.
24, okay.
I got a...
I specialize.
28.
28.
My brand.
So you all got high enough to find some items. Can everybody please make a wisdom save? Just for fun.
Crap! Dang. Did we find another freaking card thing?
No. It's not card related.
25.
16.
Synthetic 20.
16, 20. Okay.
Wisdom saving throw.
Did I get a natural 20?
I got a 32.
32. Okay. So you all kind of feel pulled in different directions. So as Nico kind of does a flyby of this space, Cerise, you're more towards the head of this space, and you see kind of near the pillar, there is an item. And let me pull up the item if I can find it. It is a harp that is leaning against this pillar. And it feels like when you first came over there, that harp wasn't there, but the harp is there now. It is almost like it's revealed itself to you. It is an Olam harp, which is a wondrous, legendary harp item. And I will, if you don't know what it is, I can send you the link if you'd like.
Oh, I think I know what it is. If it's
Okay.
It's time for a jam session.
This is a dangerous harp.
I know nothing of it.
Denahi, as she looks around and she's very, very interested in all the gold and everything else, but Denahi, being Denahi, kind of follows the gem, and you're kind of in a sea of gold and silver and all sorts of shiny things. Something catches her eye, and it's something that's black, and it's got a little gloss to it, which obviously sticks out like a sore thumb. And she kind of digs and sifts through. She's like waist high in this gold, and just kind of like sifting through the gold, slowly, getting almost like quicksand into the gold. And she pulls
easy.
And she pulls out some bracers. They look to be like dragon scale bracers that are right there by her, which I will give her those items later as well. Tallulah,
Wow.
you're digging through the coin, and you find there's platinum and gems and all sorts of trinkets. Nothing that gives that glow, but everything is definitely worth and has some value. You find a ring. This ring has like an opal gem in it, and it is kind of glowing, and you pick it up. And if you take some time to see what that item is, then we'll let you know what that is as well. Jidobi, you're really not attracted to the coin and the trinkets and all the shiny things, but you see what looks to be a glowing green cloak of some sort that attracts your eye, and you kind of go over there and you pick up this cloak, and you know it has some sort of magical properties, but you're not sure what as of yet.
Can you describe to me what this cloak looks like besides it being green?
Right now it is green, and there is fur kind of at the head of the cloak, but as you pick it up,
Ooh.
you see that the cloak kind of shifts its form slightly, depending on what you want it to be.
Interesting.
Torque.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna think about this for a minute.
Okay. And Torque, you look around and you find like large golden battle axes that are more for show, not really practicality, but they look super dope.
All right.
And you, as you pick up one of those golden, huge battle axes, something falls from it, and that catches your eye. And as it does, Nico flies by, and it kind of emanates this slight glow, and it's a necklace. And you pick it up, and you're like, And the necklace itself is kind of almost like just a normal, golden chain, but at the base of the necklace, I was gonna say an anchor, but that looks pretty cool. So at the end of that, there is a reddish gem at the end of that necklace that you're holding right there, which almost looks like what I was about to say. So there you go. Amongst all of that, there's still, you could spend a year in here and find something new every day. So you'll continue to look and you find more items. But while you obtain these magical items of sorts, what would you like to do?
I pick up the ring, and I kind of just roll it in between my fingers for a little bit. I think back to Caitlin and Opal being her favorite stone, and I put it on, and I sit down, and I sort of just touch everything around me.
Okay.
I am as we're just kind of like going through the piles and things, and I'm looking at this really interesting cloak. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna like make my groove in one of like the gold piles and just like sit down. You guys, I think this is probably as good a time as any to take a rest. I kind of overexerted myself out there.
Cerise
Did you?
feels that.
Are
Yeah,
you
I
okay?
I think I'll be fine. I just have to sit for a while. It's really hard on the body when you shapeshift and take on more mass like that in a very short period of time. I'm sorry?
You've overdone it.
Yeah, very much so. I'm very tired.
So are you all taking a short rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Oh, yeah. Well, Cerise has an ability that if she sings you a song of rest, you guys get to roll an extra d10.
Ooh.
Thing.
I'll go ahead and roll for Denahi.
Thank you. This is a crazy day, huh?
Indeed.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Is this your normal?
Is this no, not particularly, no. There's normally less people that fall with us. But yeah, what did you all find?
So did Cerise do the resty song? Did we get an extra?
Yeah. I mean, unless we want to RP it out and get it out.
No, that's fine. I was just asking if we want to RP
But yes.
it.
If you want to sing,
mechanically.
you can sing. Go ahead. Like, it's cool.
I just don't want to like force it. I just want it to be organic, you know. Anyway.
Don't tell me. Show me.
But so I found this really interesting cloak. It's beautiful. It moves really interestingly though.
I go to touch it and feel the material.
As you get closer to feel the material, it does feel smooth, and it kind of gives off how do you explain it? Like if you get that little static shock, but not the shock where it hurts, but the shock where it just kind of feels like it gives you that little woo. Yeah, and it smells of brimstone.
Oh.
Oh my.
Jadobi, did you smell that when you picked it up?
No, it kind of passed me by, but now that you pointed out, yeah. Huh.
Do you have an identify spell, or are you gonna attune, or you're gonna meditate on these items?
I would rather meditate on it and kind of, I guess, attune than do the thing. So, Tallulah, that's a very nice opal ring.
I like instinctually like cover my hand, and I'm like, oh, yes, I found it. Just in one of the piles.
I never took you for an opal type. You normally are decked out in black, so it's nice.
I used to wear a lot of color before the color was, drained from my life. But yeah. Kaylin liked color. So I'm just gonna, think on this object.
Okay.
See if it does anything.
So
I like that.
You take the time for a short rest and then some additional time to think on your objects. And you, Tallulah, have a ring of haste.
My what? Broke up.
A ring of haste.
Ooh.
So you can cast as a bonus action 2 times per long rest haste spell. You can only target yourself when you do so. Which, I don't know if you're familiar with what haste does. It gives you an extra action and a +2 to your AC while you are hasted.
Nice.
I see.
But I believe there's like you get really tired at the end of it though. Yeah, essentially after that minute you lose a turn. You're like really slow.
Yeah.
Cerise, after spending some time with your new toy, which is way too much for me to explain, I send a link in the chat. But you have a very fun harp at your disposal, which does too many things.
An excessive amount of things.
Torque, as you get closer and you're holding this item, the gold starts to deteriorate, and it reveals bones, teeth. And as you're kind of inspecting it during this time, you realize that the bones and the teeth are red dragon lich teeth and other dragon teeth. And the gem on the center, as you're holding it and you grow with this gem, you now have resistance against fire and necrotic. And while you have this on, you will never be feared of anything. So no one can cast the fear spell on you. While
nice.
Necklace.
Nice. I like very much. This is a good feeling.
The dragon scale bracers that Denahi puts on gives her +2 to her AC. So she's a little bit harder to hit. And Jadobi, the cape of the Mont Blanc that will take the form that you desire it to take will allow you to cast Dimension Door as an action.
Oh!
It can only be used once per dawn.
When you say it will form me into whatever I want or something, is that like a disguise kind of thing, or the cape changes?
It's more of just flavor for me because I know you don't really wear capes. So the cape will take the form of whatever you want. If you want it to be like a shoulder sash, a bandana, either way, the cape will take its form of the wearer.
It's like Doctor Strange?
Kind
I
of.
love it.
It doesn't
I
fight for
love
you.
it.
It stays on your body.
Oh, Ermagerd!
Cool.
So, you all take the short rest, regain some hit points, sitting in the space and kind of feeling it out. Cerise, you were still kind of over there with, by that console with the sun icon and, playing with this beautiful harp.
Right.
What do you all want to do?
Cerise, that sounds beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It's there's a song my dad wrote to propose to my mom, and it's really sweet. He used to sing it all the time, and like he would annoy her sometimes actually, and it was really cute. And she would like make up a verse to rebut her. Yeah. Under the moonlit sky, no, I can't tell you why, but when I look at you, I know that this is true, and to your face you know I cannot lie. We met not long ago, but I think I can show this sparkle that I feel is something very real, and there's something important you must know. You're beautiful to me, and anyone can see I only have eyes for you. And I think just at that moment she accidentally locks eyes with Tallulah and then like looks away really fast. Turns a pretty Cerise color.
So Jadobi is very, very, very hard to charm, but he's completely charmed.
Yeah, and so my mom would sometimes get annoyed and she'd be like, there is no moon, there's sun, but you may be having fun, but there's lots of work to do, so to you I say shoo, unless you plan on getting something done. And then, he'd help her out or whatever.
I love it.
So you all get a D12 inspiration just because that was awesome.
Oh!
Yay!
Thanks, DM. Thanks, Bart.
So, anyway, that pillar over there looks like it matches the sun crest, but the thing that we got in here in the first place.
Oh, maybe we should take a look. But as I'm saying that, I'm like looking from her to Tallulah, to her to Tallulah. Yeah, we should totally.
As you're walking with the item, just. I like it. Cool. So you walk over to the pillar, and as you get there, you do see a very large door, and there are two stairways that go up to two other doors. But there is this. They all do appear to be locked from this vantage point, but this pillar that is right in front of you does have that same emblem. Torque and Tallulah, make a perception check for me, by the way.
31.
Jesus. Okay.
You gave me the vampirism.
I swear to God, 31.
Wow.
Really? Hey!
All right. Cool. So yeah, you see, Denahi is still kind of swimming in the gold, and that's what she's gonna do for most of the show. No, I'm kidding. But you see Jadobi and Cerise and Denahi all kind of walking towards the end of this thing, and you all are kind of wrapping up what you're doing and kind of starting to make your way that way. Cool. All right, Jadobi.
As we're, making our way over there, I still have the amulet, I believe, right? Do I have the amulet, or is it in the door?
No, you do it, and then it releases, and you take it out.
Cool, just making sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to Torque, just like, like I normally would. Hey, Torque, can you hold on to this for me? I'm just gonna instinctually put the amulet into his beard, just as like a personal purse in there. Just boop.
You mean this beard?
That beard, exactly. And then as he starts, as Torque starts moving his beard to be like, oh, what are you doing? I see the glimmer of this necklace. Torque, was that always there?
No, I just found it.
Oh, it looks good.
Thank you.
Special? Anything special?
I don't know. It makes me feel very good.
Well, that's a very good necklace.
I haven't technically figured out that it does all these things.
So this really cool cloak that I got is kind of like almost, alive. It like changes form and things. It's very interesting. And I think it gives me, I don't know, something special. I have to look more into it. But I think I'll hold on to it for now. And I'll put it on. And I think I would like it to take the form of just like kind of almost an Indian-esque type sash around me, like from one end to the other.
Yep.
And it doesn't like, I didn't completely know it could do that, but it does. I'm just like, wow, cool. And I will follow the rest to the pillar / the door.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, So you, Ceriehm, and Denahi are at the pillar. You do see the pillar is like 4 feet up, 45 degree. Does have a spot that's made for that gem.
Do you want to do the honors, Torque?
You want me to?
Yeah, you have it now. You have the amulet now.
Okay.
And you're strong. And just in case we get sucked into something, you're way stronger than I am. You can pull your hand out, and I can't.
I got you. So you place the gem into the thingy. So as you do that, you watch as the star shape goes in and doesn't move, and the circular kind of gem that's around it starts to turn, and like you hear the sounds of gears. And you watch as the pillar goes and 3 times, and it hits the ground of the floor, and the floor kind of covers it up. You all feel the vault start to shake. The vault is starting to shake and starting to shake. Everyone make a dexterity saving throw.
What did you make me do?
I don't know.
Everyone make a what?
Dexterity saving throw.
Ah, the worst. Oh wait, I get to do that again.
14.
14.
Wow, that barely saved me. 15.
15.
9.
9.
Let me just.
Well, are you flying, Ceriehm?
Me?
Are you...
Probably.
Okay, then never mind. So
I rolled a synthetic one.
Yeah, that's fine. So Jadobi and Denahi kind of fall over. The shaking is that traumatic. Torque, Tallulah, and Ceriehm, please make a perception check. So you all feel the entire vault starts to shake. You watch that front door, and it opens in like 2 ways, opens up, and it reveals a hallway that looks to go into a hall. But as it's starting to shake, you all get that feeling that you're in like a freight elevator. You feel like this entire vault is starting to rise.
I got another 19, so that's a 36.
36.
I got a 22.
22. Ceriehm?
17.
So Ceriehm and Torque, you kind of look around instinctually, like looking at everything. You watch all the coins start to kind of slide down, and you see that doorway that Varys and Sindri walked out of. It's almost like it's a hologram. You watch as the wall kind of flickers, and it's just the end of the vault now. There's no doorway, there's no hallway at all, and the entire space starts to shake and rise up. Tallulah, I'm going to send you a message real quick. Hopefully this makes sense.
Secret notes.
Yeah, so all this is happening. What are you all doing?
Yeah! What's going on? What's happening?
The exit's gone.
I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, I like sort of like instinctually like just start like grabbing gold around me and like holding on to it.
Ceriehm is like trying to fly above it. Is it so? If Ceriehm flies, is this like the floor coming to meet her?
Yeah, if that's how it works.
It's a good question. I don't know, like if it would constantly.
Well, yeah, it's like jumping in an elevator. So you're like, so it does rise, and you do land on the floor. So yes, and it starts to rise.
Yeah, I think Ceriehm just.
When I look up, do I feel like we're going up to the ceiling, or is the ceiling moving with us?
Yeah. You're on the ground, and the whole thing is just rising. So
But
the
We're
entire
like about to get squished.
no. Like the entire vault as an entity is lifting up. So the vaulted space is going up with you, but it does feel like you are lifting.
There's
up.
no ceiling, right?
No, there's a ceiling. It's
the ceiling is
100
moving
feet
with
up.
us. Like the whole room is moving, so we're not going to get crushed.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. As I'm like
not a trap.
scrambling and like holding on to gold, I say, Jadobi, look over there. Do you see that? Do you see the gold fall?
The gold fall.
Perception check, since she said.
I look. The gold fall.
I guess I'll allow that.
Thank you. It's kind of what I'm understanding.
Got it.
So my perception is going to be 27.
27. So as the room is shaking, and the shaking subsides as it starts to elevate, and it still continues to elevate. That door does open, revealing like a hall, almost like a guild hall or something. Like it's a big room. But as it starts to rise, you do see there's giant piles of gold on either side, right? This whole space is full of gold. But imagine, I don't know how to explain. Imagine like you had a truck buried in the gold, and the truck disappeared, and the gold kind of just settles. You know what I mean?
So the gold fell.
The gold fell, right? But so the gold is all shaking and slowly going down.
It's still in the room.
But as the whole room was shaking, and the gold kind of fell down in a very large space. It just kind of almost like gold disappeared as you were.
That pile was bigger, and now it's not.
Weird.
But the shaking does stop, and then but you still feel the very slow ascension.
Do I have any idea what that could mean? A disappearing gold pile or bits of it?
You can do an intelligence check, but I if GW doesn't know what it is, then
GW doesn't know.
Yeah, so I would assume that GW wouldn't know either.
So then GW knows? I'm confused.
GW.
So I got an 8. I got an 8.
Yeah, I mean it's what you know as a human being, like what you would
cool.
assume that,
Fair.
like a pickup truck just disappeared, or gold just disappeared, like a big pile of gold that maybe when this thing did, it disappeared and there's less gold now, or appears to be less.
Ceriehm, did you activate another teleporter? Or what just happened?
I don't think I did. That's an interesting theory, though.
My
other theory would be there's just like a hole in the floor there, and that some of it's falling down or something.
But then it would continue to fall if there was a hole.
True.
I mean, unless something blocked it.
It did
Maybe
stop.
we were lucky and we missed a trap. I'm gonna walk over.
Yep, I wade over.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going cautiously looking for traps with Tallulah.
And we're back. The party fell into a giant hole and died. The end. Let's start over.
It was really great playing with you guys.
I had a good run.
You guys got to be level 16 for a whole 20 minutes.
Wow.
Anyway, that fuckery is over.
That's over.
So you start to wade yourself over to the space. Both of you do an investigation check.
Dice Joe.
17.
17. You dig around and all you feel is gold. You don't feel anything. Sorry.
Bless you.
Bless
you.
Nothing. My feet don't touch anything on the ground.
It's just gold. You feel gold. I mean, you can't touch the ground because the gold is still high. It's just not 50 feet high. It's now 25 feet high.
Look, everyone, we're swimming in gold.
Gold. All right, let me look.
I'm gonna look at Tallulah. Should we try to swim down to see?
I was just thinking through my memories if I have anything that's helpful.
I'm Scrooge McDuck.
So you guys take some time with those investigation checks, and you kind of swim through the gold as long as you can hold your breath, because oxygen is hard. The deeper you get in, because you're being buried by gold. But you get as far as you can without being consumed by it, where you're not going to be able to get out. And you're able to kind of wiggle and sift and drag your way in and out of that space that kind of collapsed. I
like feel for Tallulah to make sure like we're still like near each other.
You don't find anything out of sorts. You find lots of trinkets and gold and all sorts of things. You eventually hit the deck, and it is a solid floor.
Is it possible for me to like light a torch? I know I'm buried in gold, but is it possible for me to like light a torch and try to move my feet around so I can see if maybe there's any markings on the floor?
Yeah, I mean that's easy enough. illuminate the space, because the space is still relatively lit, and you illuminate the space, you look for markings, you don't find any markings at all. Ceriehm and Torek, do a perception check for me. I love DuckTales.
Ooh.
What was the robot's name?
22.
Huh?
That was not the robot's name, but that was my roll.
Oh, 22?
22.
19.
19. As the two of them are in the pile of gold, and as they're like starting to come out, you kind of see a poof of smoke, or essence, like swirling essence of smoke and such, that kind of appear right near where Tallulah and GW are starting to emerge out of that gold pile.
Did you see that smoke?
Gizmo duck, yes. Sorry.
What was that?
So Jadobi and Tallulah, as you kind of emerge out of that pile of coin, you see a figure standing before you. And about that same time, the rest of you see this figure standing before you, which is a beautiful elven woman with gold hair, and her eyes, like the actual colors of her eyes, are a gold. Her hair is down, and
It's always a hot girl.
Mid back. She's kind of standing there with her hands kind of coupled like this. She's wearing a white dress or gown, robe, something with gold lining all throughout, and she's just sitting there waiting for you to come out of the gold.
I look up to her and I say, God?
And I look at Tallulah like, what?
And then your god patron is like...
I like shake out of it. And
she looks down at you and she says, well, some people have called me that in recent years. Well, hello, new friends.
I'm like still kind of like deep in gold, like, oh, hello. Who might you be?
My name is Ceriehm Order. Pleasure to be your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you, Ceriehm.
Why would you appear right now?
Well, hang on. There seems to be some sound issues. So, one of you kind people here had activated the locking mechanism for this island, per se. So you were able to open up the doorway so I can actually leave, and I am very indebted to that.
Wait a minute. All right, let's break this down. You said island?
Yes.
I'm still just trying to like keep like tread gold and listen.
And second, why were you trapped here?
Well, it's a long story. A very long time ago, I was locked here by an evil entity. Myself and some of my other compatriots were trying to fight off this evil, and locked us in here, and I was the only one that survived.
What sort of entity?
It was
Are you a djinn?
No. Much more powerful than a djinn. But no, this was an evil dragon of sorts.
Was it black?
It was.
We killed it.
Start with a G.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah. How do you think we got in here?
Son. How long have you been here? Do you know?
1,000 years, maybe more.
I think it was the dragon's father who was already dead.
Kresgar.
We didn't.
When you say that, her eyes kind of squint a little bit. Yes, that was his name. Kresgar.
You know what, DM? I'm getting to believing people again. I have to like, ugh, stop it. Do I believe her?
Insight
when
check.
She says, all right.
Insight check. Of course.
I almost fell for it because she was.
I'm getting better. I expected you to do it instantly.
Woo, you almost got me. You almost
I
got me.
thought about it, but I just didn't.
Yeah, you almost got. 37 insight.
Everything she says is believable.
Everything she says is believable.
Like, I said that wrong. I said that way wrong. With that high of a check, she's telling the truth.
She's believable.
Okay. I continue to listen then, as her and Tallulah kind of talk.
So is this You've never been here before. Do you even know where you are?
I mean, I know where.
The Valari ruins.
Ruins.
Yeah, what he said. There's no city here anymore. You know, a lot has happened in 1,000 years.
I believe your eyes may have deceived you. Follow me. And she turns and she starts walking towards that door that opened up. Do you follow?
Cerise looks at the rest of the party, but she's following her.
Ariel.
Yes.
Where are we following you before we get there?
I'm going to show you the city that you call ruins is not ruined.
Right. All right. Is there a way that I can get myself out of the ghost and I can
Sure.
walk with it like she is? Or
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Alright, cool.
you're trying to be not. You know what? Roll.
I mean, it's pretty. You gotta be pretty strong to push your whole body weight.
Roll a performance check.
Oh, I haven't done that in a while. I remember the last time I did that.
You have a
Okay.
baby.
Yep.
I wasn't gonna say.
Your condom broke, so.
I wasn't gonna. Everyone needs to relax. 22.
22. Yeah, you're able to kind of to be sly and try to get out without looking like you have a 0 strength score. You do see a little smirk in her eye as she turns and walks away. So, Cerise, you follow?
I'm sort of tentatively following, looking over my shoulder to see if everyone else is coming. But Cerise is very curious.
I guess I follow.
Okay. So as you continue to follow, she does speak, and as she continues to speak, and she enters this hall, and this is the Hall of Kings, the base operations of the Ceriehm Order. And as you walk into this space, you see giant pillars. The ceilings are probably 30 feet high, maybe halfway up, 15 feet high. There are railings that look like they lead to other rooms. And in the center of this space, Cerise, you do see another transportation circle that looks almost identical as the one in the vault, with the last rune is slightly different. So your knowledge of transportation circles does tell you that each of these circles do have a certain characteristic, so each one is its own circle. And as she continues, this is where we would convene to discuss, and she kind of rolls her eyes, the dealings of evil entities in the realm. And then she starts to turn, and as she turns, do you guys continue to follow?
Yeah, but before we move too far on, she said the what order? The
Ceriehm Order.
Ceriehm Order. Does that ring any bells?
For you?
For me?
Do a history check.
So wait a minute.
1. So 13 total, but...
You've read about it. It's an ancient order, very much like the Alliance of Light, but it's a little more specific.
We know all about it.
Yeah, you should.
So, wait a minute here. This city was connected to this gold vault the entire time.
Yes. You deactivated essentially the hidden magical aspects of the city to keep it hidden.
Have we stopped rising?
No.
Oh, we're still going up?
You're still going up.
Oh.
How far down did we go?
You didn't go down very far at all. But so you all do know it's very obvious, kind of where all the sconces are, or you would assume a fire sconce would be. There is a bluish purple gem that is glowing. And those of you who know what Rosari crystals are, this place is full of Rosari crystals.
Floating.
So she does continue to walk through the space, and kind of gives you almost a tour of this place. So it's still in pristine shape. It's still very beautiful. There is cobwebs in certain areas, it hasn't just been walked through in a while, but it's not run down, it's not destroyed, it's not beat up. There's no sign of life, but the makings of this hall, which is the centerpiece of this, is relatively intact. And she goes to the right, and she kind of opens up these two very big doors. And inside this space, there are like 5 other large doors. And she opens up the first one to the right, and she kind of steps to the side and points. And she says, "Here is the Onyx Ballroom." And as you look into the space, it's a giant ballroom with purple lavender like draperies, with windows. And as you look out the window, perception checks. I'm not gonna give you guys everything for free.
I was gonna say we're doing so much.
My passive is amazing. No, it's good.
30.
Everyone else's passive is pretty good.
24.
24.
23.
28.
Okay,
30.
That's enough. So as you look into the space and all the spaces that she is showing you, they're all illuminated, and it's very beautiful. And there's like, elegant tapestries and draperies all over the place, and furniture and all sorts of things. The fireplace is very large. It is not lit, but there is a fireplace. And as you're looking at the space, it looks like it's nighttime outside. But as you look closer, you see every once in a while you see like something swim by, but it keeps rising and keeps rising. So with all those checks that you are in water and you are rising out of the water.
Okay, while that's going on, DM, the Ceriehm Order, the tattoos that me, Torp, Denahi have, that was a part of that, right? That was like the mark of the Ceriehm Order?
Part of it, yes. That was something that Max was connected to. Your grandfather was part of the Ceriehm Order.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And Thais, who, Barakabu was connected to, and the Lich that you fought, what the fuck was his name?
Orin?
Yeah. So you when you all went back in time, and Cerise, and you've gone back and watched things. So when they went back in time, they embodied some of the agents of the Ceriehm Order to fight Granasso the first time.
So the second she says Ceriehm Order, and she's still taking us on this tour, Cerise does kind of see me looking at my tattoo on under my hand, and the tattoo was like a bull's head with like really exaggerated like horns, and I'm just like looking at it.
So yeah, Cerise flutters over and she's like, I mean, if she's talking, she probably wouldn't talk over her because she's like, but she's just like, do you know what's going on?
Sort of. I'll fill you in when she's done.
Okay.
So she walks back out to the main hall and goes to the next room. Here is the Hofhood Hall, and she opens up the doorway, and it's a very large, kind of like mead hall. And there are tables. There's a long table at the end with 10 chairs, and there's all sorts of other tables kind of lead up to it. So there's like a like the head of the table kind of thing where the lieutenants or whatever the higher ups would sit. And she shows, and there's lots of red like banners hanging down, and you do see that same symbol, Jadobi, that is on your wrist of the actual Ceriehm Order iconography. Backs out of that space and continues on across that hallway to the other side. She shows you the Rising Sun Library, and you open up this space, and it's a huge space. What's that?
Why are you showing all of this to us?
Well, it's easier just to show it than try to explain it, darling. Go ahead.
You know what? I had a question, but I did forget it. So
it's all right.
It's all right, Cerise.
It was a question out of character. We haven't seen anybody else, right? It's like
there's no
abandoned.
life in this place. Yes.
And so we're like in one building, but there's like different. These are just like different.
Yeah,
really
these are
big
different
rooms.
corridors of this building. You're not
yeah.
quite sure what the space is specifically.
Last question for me right now.
Yes.
As we walk through, does the place seem dingy and dusty?
Like I said that a little earlier. It's a little cobwebby and a little dusty, but for the most part, it's immaculate. Even for 1,000 years or however long she said she was here, the magical essence kind of kept it at whatever status it was at that point. But does not look like it sustained life in this magical thing, but it did, keep it together. She continues on and she shows you the library. And in the library, it's a very large space, and it's kind of curved at the roof. And there's hundreds of books. There's a lot of books missing, actually. which is a little kind of out of character, and she goes and continues to talk about it. And as she does, you kind of see like the bubblings at the like one of the things is glass, and you do see water, and then you start to see like waves hitting, like you've breached the surface of the ocean. This is some of the ancient text of Ukodor. The gods and the different wars and battles of the first and second age, and some of the new findings of the third age. Some of the books, unfortunately, we were betrayed by one of our own, has taken a lot of those sacred texts out of this place. But
Oren.
Yes, you know of him? And she gets really angry.
I like how I take a step back. Yeah, we actually had to kill him.
And she kind of retracts a little bit, and you actually see like a pretty big smile. Did you now?
And I point at Denahi, who's holding her staff.
This pleases me. Come on now. So she does continue to the last room.
I snag a book as we leave the room.
Ooh.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand. Like,
whatever is like
sneakily,
closest.
or just grabbing one.
Just grabbing one.
Sure.
I'm not really.
Yeah, it's fine. You can just grab one. You grab a book, and the book speaks.
Tallulah don't give a fuck.
The book speaks
a musty-ass book.
The ancient, the Bronze Age is what the book is called. And it talks about the Hesian Empire's uprising and movement to the west of Pri. So it talks about a lot of the culture and heritage of that specific location.
Do any of these words mean anything to me?
The continent of Pri is east of... So it goes Seros and then Bukri, which is attached to Seros, and Pri is way to the east. You've read about it because of your mother's understanding of everything. The Hesian Empire...
of everything. She knew all.
Well, I mean, she had to have, because it's still kind of a constant threat. Like, they're still trying to rebuild what was lost thousands of years ago. But the Hesian Empire and the Cerosian Republic, or whatever their new term is now, they don't like each other. So they've been at war for thousands of years.
Sure.
But so it does ring a bell when she says that. She does say, as she looks over, there's the other room on the other side is like an apothecary, and on the backside of that is a blacksmith shop. But then she goes to the main door. Yeah.
As she continues, I'm looking out the window because we're out of the ocean now. What do I see?
Blue sky.
A beautiful ocean view.
How, if we're in the water ward, how are we out of the water ward?
I'll show you. And then she opens the big door. But Solo can't find what I was looking for. Where is
But I still can't find...
Because I'm the player, and wondering if we went through the water portal back to our world. Because there is like a whirlpool that's like the gate back to our home.
So as she walks through this main door, it is a long hallway. This hallway is beautiful. It's still about 20-25 feet tall, and there's these archways. There are 4 archways on either side. Excuse me. It's really obvious as when you look at them. Jadobi, you have a really good connection. Cerise probably as well, but it's pretty obvious to everybody else. On the left side, you see it's almost like a very large archway window. So imagine like a really big window that's maybe 5 to 10 feet wide, but it's almost on the base of the floor. And there is one step that goes to this window, and the window is solid all the way to the top, and there's an archway on the top of this window, and the entire window is like running water. And on the side adjacent to that, you see wind. You walk another 10-15 feet, there are 2 more archways. The one on the left looks like earth and stone, and the one on the right is fire. And she continues to walk towards what looks to be a very large tree. Any questions?
Where the fuck are we?
So what are we in? Are we in between everything right now, or?
What are you? Oh, you're referring to the archways.
Yeah, the archways.
Oh, those are direct gateways to the elemental planes.
That's great. So where are we right now?
We're in the city of Valari. And
In the water ward.
Sort of. Follow me. And she continues. She continues. Go ahead.
Does the city of Valari? I mean, we were in the Valari ruins, right? But
Correct.
okay.
You can roll a history check if you want to see if you recall anything about the city of Valari.
Okay. 16?
16. I mean, other than what she said, it's an ancient city. This, about the same amount of knowledge as you have about the Ceriehm Order. It was a hidden city of Valari, which was like a hidden headquarters for, the place to keep the balance in the world. But she does continue, and she kind of looks to Jadobi and points. And perhaps you recognize Ilel. And she points to a very large tree, very similar to the tree that Facina used in the Fey Ward. It's a huge tree that is kind of centered on this like little walkway, and outside of that there is daylight now and sun. And there's a huge garden, and at the center of this garden you see a statue of Izir. And you look at all the other statues, and there's like a dozen statues, and each one is of one of the major gods. And now you see her just, I thank you so much for freeing me from this prison. So, to answer your question, you are in the city of Valari, the centerpiece of the Ceriehm Order that hovers above the Cobalt Sea in the middle of the 3 major continents of Ukodor. So as you kind of step out, and there's a huge garden, and it's beautiful, and it's amazing that all this is still alive. And
wait, you're talking we're in the center of the planet kind of thing?
Kind of. If you look at, you know what? I'm gonna send you guys a map.
Wait, Jules Verne?
So wait, DM, we are back on our own plane right now.
Do an intelligence check.
Well, she just said that
to see
we're
if,
above the Cobalt Sea.
If you remember what the Cobalt Sea is.
I feel like I would. 19 total.
19 total. Let me just send that so you can get a visual. So, as she does say that, yes, you are now back in the material plane. You have hovered through the maelstrom inside of the Cobalt Sea.
No.
And you are now floating very high off. And you kind of stand at the end of this beautiful garden that kind of views the rest of this island. The island itself is very large. You see mountain ranges kind of scattered amongst. It's several miles in either direction. It's like the similar size of like Granasso's island, if you want some sort of comparison. But at the base of this, you see almost like a giant lake, and at the base you do see like a small village kind of at the base of this space. And you kind of look around, and as you look around, you are inside of some sort of large castle structure. And as you kind of glance over this railing that does kind of view the other thing, you cannot even see the base of the ocean anymore. And kind of below this island structure, there are these dark clouds that kind of cover the base and maybe hide this island from visibility. Like storm clouds are kind of below it to kind of keep it hidden for the most part. But it's a very beautiful sight as you see it. It's vast. It's just full of green. It seems like some sort of what's the word? Not Narnia, but some sort of Eden almost. Like it seems almost Eden-esque, a very big sanctuary of sorts. And she kind of stands at the end of the balcony. Oh. So.
I just one more tiny little question.
Yes.
Time is the same, right? Like we didn't go forward or backwards in any sort of
time is not the same here.
I know it's not the same.
Oh, I understand.
Like from between when we left.
Yes. So you're concerned about how long or where you are in the time continuum, of course. The elemental planes are pretty slow compared to the material plane. So yes, however long you've been on the water ward, you are now back. Depends on how long you've been gone. Minutes, hours, maybe.
Sure,
since you
but I'm
left.
saying like we didn't just like we didn't jump a large
No,
portion.
all that happened is this island that was actually a city or a castle with like a village and city just raised itself out
Okay.
of the water ward, out of the maelstrom, out of
Got it.
the Cobalt Sea, and now back to its normal resting place to kind of oversee. And if you look at the map I just sent you, literally look at the Cobalt Sea, right where the word cobalt is. It's above that, maybe several miles hidden in the storms.
Sure, but I read the map that said ancient Ukodor, so I'm like, did we travel back in time
That's-
to do a
it's-
crossover episode?
that's-
Because I will be mad.
That's the only map I have. I see. I understand your question now. That's the only
Yes.
map I have of that much space.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I was in character asking. Did
Got
we...
it. Got it.
Time
You
skip.
did not go back in time. No.
Okay.
You have pressing concerns. I understand.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the vampire Victor Corin?
Victor Karan has been a pest in the Ceriehm Order and the Alliance of Light for many, many thousands of years.
Well, it's an on cycle right now, and he's got 4 of the 5 cities he needs. So we were kind of trying to gather some strength outside of this timeline.
Well,
So it's imperative that we leave the material plane as quick as possible.
of course, the Ceriehm Order, unfortunately, is no more. This place can be your home, if you so choose. There are many ways for you to leave this place. If any of you are trained in the arcane arts of traveling, you can easily go through the different portals or gateways we have. There are 10 rooms in this space for the 10 members of the Ceriehm Order. By all means, make them yours. Treat it with kindness, defeat evil, and this place will take care of you. Of course, you need to reoccupy it with people and citizens and all those things, because they are long gone, of course. But you call to me. You call to Authoria, and I will come aid you in any endeavor that you have.
Were you in this order?
I was the head of this order.
I see.
Authoria, is
Yeah.
that a title or?
That is my ancient name,
I see.
but my common name was Arel.
DM, when I hear the name Authoria, does that ring any bells from my history classes?
You can do a history check if you like.
Let's see. That's a well, actually, it's a natural 1, but we can add stuff because we can still.
Inspiration die.
Oh yeah, I do have a Thanks, Cerise.
You're welcome.
That was a lot of rolling. Okay. 16 total.
The name does sound familiar, and all of the texts and readings that you have done, it was connected to the Ceriehm Order, but you can't. It's one of those things you can't put the name to the face, kind of thing.
Okay.
But I mean, Arel Nizeri does ring a bell, and as part of the Ceriehm Order. And as you're kind of sitting there and digesting, and she's just kind of taking in the sunlight because she hasn't seen it in a long time, and she's just really just embracing in this. She looks to you one last time and says, D10 inspiration for Torque and Cerise, by the way. She does turn around to you and say, are there any other allies or enemies that are in works with Victor that you have issues or questions about, or anything else of me before I take my leave?
What about the werewolves?
Oh, yeah.
The werewolves, if he's still alive, are led by the Lord Warwick. He has been turned by Victor, and they are unable to fight Victor one-on-one directly. But if you can somehow coerce him into aiding you in some way or so, he might be a strong ally if you're able to do that.
We have asked him, and he told us that he cannot do it of his own will.
He cannot attack Victor with his own will. But if you convince him enough, he can attack any of Victor's allies. Undead or whatever they have.
There we go.
There's always a loophole.
I don't suppose there's a way to get from here to the Verdant Plateau.
There is not, unfortunately. I mean, if you've been there before, you can use the transportation circles to get you there if you've been there. Or if you have a normal, plane travel situation.
So the Verdant Plateau travels, it floats around. Does this floating city do the same thing? Do they ever cross?
The Verdant Plateau actually does not move. It seems to move. It has illusions of moving, but it is in the same location that it always is. And it's hidden very much like our humble abode here as well. But it's much more. It's a continent of its own, so it's much larger than this place.
Do you happen to have anything from the Verdant Plateau that's been attuned to a specific location?
I do not know. You could look in the different rooms and corridors of this place and potentially find some information or something like that could aid in your endeavor. Or you find someone who you know that lives there and you spy on them. And you're a druid? That's a big tree. You can maybe find your way there using those means.
Do you know of anyone who's followed Victor to the Shadow Ward and had any tales to tell?
Not that lived, no. There's been several attempts to find his castle in the Shadow Ward and have all failed. There's been several attempts to go through the rift or split in the space of the Verdant Plateau that takes you directly to his castle with assumingly no luck. But I have faith that you, and she kind of closes her eyes for a second, the Lightbringers will be able to be successful in these endeavors.
Well, thank you for that confidence. We're damn sure gonna try.
So Lulu, you're muted.
I like that I can tell what you said.
Thank you. Do you know of the easiest way to just send Victor to the Shadow Realm? Is that
kill him?
Is it just to kill him? But it's the
Yes.
easiest way to kill him.
I mean, you get him away from his strong allies. You get him alone. You have a much greater shot. Work together. Use your strengths. Couple your weaknesses. And defeat the bastard. And again, you can call on my aid. And I will assist. If I'm able.
May I ask, are you a druid as well?
No, I am not. Somewhat flattered by your remarks, but no, I am not.
DM.
I would have smelled it if she was.
Yeah, she would
Jesus.
have. Is there any way that I can discern like what she is? Like, like sorcerer or warlock, or is she just kind of beyond?
You can do an insight check.
Because I feel like it would be rude to ask, but I mean, maybe I shouldn't care that much.
What kind of magic do you do?
I have the ability to do some magic in several different schools of magic. Just depends
I
on.
see.
18.
18. What was your check again? I'm sorry. Second question threw me off.
I'm trying to figure out if she has a class per se. Or...
You can't discern with the current the conversation you've given, and she hasn't really done anything that's super magical. With that check, I mean, her saying the Lightbringer, she probably read one of your minds.
Okay.
That's about it.
Do you know, I mean, I know your order faced Granasso, the Black Dragon.
Yes, that monstrosity. We put him back where he belongs.
What do you mean?
We killed the bastard. Ooh,
Wait.
natural 20 insight check. She kind of leans in and looks at you. Do you have something to say, little one?
Cerise looks at the others and then looks back. Well, maybe someone brought him back because he's alive now.
You watch the gold ring around her eyes. Almost looks like it's vibrating, right? And then you see the whites of her eyes turn red, and her pale complexion starts to change, and her elvish form starts to... She gets really fucking angry.
She's a barbarian. She's raging.
Where was the last place that you saw him?
Well, he was once. He made a home in the Crystal Tundra, but we sent him to fight to Victor's army, so I think right now he's probably in Edak running amok.
Very well. Thank you for this information. I must go. I must take care of him finally. If you need my assistance, please let me know. We must not let this darkness continue to grow. And as she does that, she runs and she jumps off the balcony.
Are you going by yourself?
And
Does she fly?
a second goes by, and you kind of see a flash of light. And hovering in front of you, you see a very large, gold, ancient dragon hovering in front of you. I will defeat that monstrosity if it kills me. I bid you all adieu, and good luck in your endeavors. What?
Maybe we can fight him together once we're ready, and we can help you.
Call for me. And she turns and she just starts to book it.
How? How?
You
have the ring, Jadobi.
Yeah, you feel a voice in your head saying, Jadobi, you know how. Kind of almost like not disappointed, but just like, you know. And then she flies away.
You're messing up my epic exit. Okay. Wow.
You've been one up.
I'm stunned. I just look at her fly away in awe as she like glimmers in like the sunlight. Just
so as Thoria, the protector of life, the second that you see her, the name jolts in your head. She's kind of like the queen of the metallic dragons. She is one of the oldest dragons, even older than Granasso, that has flown in this world and has kept the peace, usually in her elven or Asmar form, and has essentially tried... So when you knew her, the body that Barakabu fought in was her, and she was an Asmar monk at that moment. So, but she has taken many forms over the years, but she mainly has held the Ceriehm Order for thousands of years, essentially. So the face to the name just kind of, oh shit, pops in your head. So,
whoa, cool.
The lost city of Valari is now yours. What would you all like to do?
I say we jump in back to one of these portals as soon as possible so that no more time goes forward.
I totally agree. We probably should have asked her how to put it back.
I don't think you do put it back. I think it's just here.
You know what? I'll ask her. And I'll think really hard on this beautiful dragon.
Oh my god, don't bother her. She literally just left.
Well, how are we gonna...
We're not putting it back. It's gonna stay here. She said that it's hidden up here. Nobody knows that it's here.
But we need to get back to the air ward, the water ward. Like
I point with the portal and I say, the water one. We go in the water one.
You're right. I totally forgot about that. Sorry, she was so beautiful. I just forgot.
Tell me about it.
Cerise is also pretty stunned.
All right.
I look back at Torque.
That was awesome, but I really hope she doesn't... Granasso was gonna fight Victor. I hope this doesn't put the balance of the battle the wrong way.
Well, maybe since we've been gone for maybe like 10 minutes, maybe everything's done. And
I
she's...
think in her mind, the greater evil would be defeating Victor, and then maybe she'll go after Granosso. We'll figure that out when we get there.
Okay.
I say
wasn't
let's
hype.
move.
Well,
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm with you.
We can continue this.
So okay.
Tell us about the portal. Is it a portal? Is it something we have to activate to go to the water ward?
You're not sure right now. In this
Okay.
moment, but while you
run
are,
into it.
yeah, while you are still outside in the garden and having this conversation as she flew away, we're gonna go ahead and take our break because we're
break time.
slightly overdue. So hang on, let's do.
It's right on time, actually. It's 8 o'clock.
It's right on time. Thank
right
you.
On time.
It's right on time.
So
I like it. It's
exclamation
right on
point
time.
raffle to enter in the mid-show giveaway. This mid-show giveaway is brought to you by Roll20. So go ahead and take your game online with Roll20, the virtual tabletop that runs straight out of your web browser. Everything you need to play with your friends is ready at the click of a mouse, from click-to-roll character sheets to built-in video and voice chat. You can even upload your own maps and tokens. Get all that and more with your free basic account at roll20.net. Go ahead and click the link down below and tell them Ukodor sent you. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we will see you all in about 10 minutes.
See you soon.
And welcome back. So, as you all are deliberating in the garden, you watched Thora in the dragon form, golden dragon form, fly away, looking for her foe. You sit in the lost city of Valari, which is now your home, if you would like to make it that. What would you all like to do?
So Cerise wants to investigate the portals to the water ward and other places.
Okay, roll an Arcana check for me.
And I want to do
I mean,
that as well.
I'm rushing towards the water ward.
What they
I
said.
don't understand the time.
23.
23. Yeah, I mean, the portals themselves, do have steps that go to the portals, and the portals, as you get closer and you really investigate, because you were kind of walking through before, there's like a slight ripple, so it does look like it's a doorway that leads to somewhere in the water ward.
So in that if we just walk on it, we'll go through and not need to like activate it kind of doorway?
Well, you've never seen one like this, but that's your assumption.
Okay.
So
This is my assumption.
as we stand here looking at the different doorways, there's one water, there's one fire, there's one earth, there's one air, and then there's a fifth doorway that has the huge lily tree with statues around the tree of all the gods. Is that correct?
No, not slightly. So at the end of this hallway, it does open up, and I'll send you a picture shortly, but the tree is outside. And it's an actual tree. It's a giant tree, like almost like
like on the balcony, like where she was.
Yeah, like before the balcony. So there's the tree, and then past the tree is the garden, and at the center of the garden is Azir, and there's other statues in a circle around that. So the tree is separate from the garden, and then you walk past the garden to the balcony.
I see. Got you.
So are we? What are we doing? What are we waiting for?
I think. Nothing. I think I want to go back to the water ward soon too. Before we go, let me grab something. I'm going to run into the masses of treasure, and I'm gonna look for the first jewel encrusted chalice that I see.
Okay. Do an investigation check for me.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Cerise wants to see if she can learn that sigil in the Great Hall, hoping that because you said there was only just one small difference, she'd be able to memorize them both pretty
easy
cheaply.
enough. No check even needed, because you the other one understood. So you have the two main ones that are kind of a locked two-way deal. But since you're in that main room, can you roll a perception check? Tallulah, Torque, are you guys doing anything else?
Are you sure we don't need to protect anything here?
I mean, I don't know. Where did we leave the airship?
The Earth Ward.
Okay. I mean, I'm asking Talk in character.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
25.
I think he was right.
Jadobi's gone. He's not there.
Oh, sorry. The air ward? I'm not sure.
Because I think we should bring the ship here, and then all the survivors on the ship can live here.
The only thing that frightens me is that this is still within Victor's grasp, is it not?
I mean, afterwards.
Oh, afterwards, yes.
Or at least while they could come here and be protected and run this little city. I'm assuming. I mean, there's just going to be,
Denahi looks
everything.
at you two, and she takes one of those. Denahi pauses and says, "There's all the innocent people in Tydean that we could hide here, maybe."
Yeah, and they could, get back to sort of an everyday life. And I think they would like
Victor,
that.
It won't matter.
But that's what I mean. Is while Victor's alive, we bring him here and they're safe. Victor doesn't know that this place is here, right?
I don't know.
And then Cerise wanders back in. I couldn't help but overhearing. I think I've figured out how I could transport some people back here, and if we had the airship, we could transport a lot of people.
That's what I mean, right? I mean, it just makes sense. It's almost like the airship is supposed to come here.
And
you also do
Victor.
remember that the airship does have the hull of holding, where it can hold hundreds of people at a time.
Plus, Victor wants the city of Tydean because there's something in there he needs. So, if he doesn't, the people are a secondary concern for him.
Correct. He's not
So
actually going out there to just kill these people.
You mean to evacuate the cities?
Yeah.
Right.
Somehow. Right?
We have a few days.
We could do that, right?
We might be able to. Wait, okay, this might be something to
The
contact King
travel
Max
time
about, right?
takes time.
He was the one who was organizing the escape, or was it Dorius?
The last conversation was that all the people who could not fight were going in the keep or below the keep in Jaren's old holding pens.
Yeah.
That's the only place that they can go to hide to not be in the fray. But
Fight.
essentially, the fight's coming to that the Lord Quarter, the keep and all that jazz. That's where they're kind of holding their final stand. But as you three are having the conversation, Denahi does wander off back into the building. I rolled for it, by the way, for curiosity.
So, as they're having that chat that I know nothing about, I rolled a 16 investigation to find that the grail that I so desperately need.
Okay. You look through the coins and the trinkets and things, and you can't find anything that seems to be that value immediately, anyway. But do a perception check. What's your passive perception? Let me back up.
My passive is pretty good.
What is
My
it?
passive is 21.
So you're walking through the space in this first floor, and then walking outside. There's a lot of nice, shiny things throughout the space, so you could do further investigations in other locations that maybe you might find one.
I will do further investigations.
Okay.
I guess I'll roll right now.
Well, you can tell me where you gonna go to do the investigations. I guess I can say that.
I'm gonna go. I'll go to the dining room. Maybe there's something in there.
Sure. Go roll an investigation or a perception check for me.
All right, here we go.
What's everybody else doing?
With the candlestick in the dining room.
What are we doing?
Adobe mustard.
That's what I'm asking. What are you guys doing?
So,
I mean, we were having a conversation.
yeah, do we think... I think we could... Alright. I mean, this might be a good time to use Jajobi's ring when he gets back, right? We could call people, figure out what it would take to coordinate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the best idea to try and save as many people as we want, or as we can.
Right.
It will definitely leave the streets open in case we want to fight.
Yeah.
And that way, if Victor does break the keep, it won't be so devastating.
And
Right.
there won't be any leverage to the people that we care about.
So in that case, should we go to the Earth Ward first?
We need to go, yes, wherever the airship is.
The
Contact
big
King
question
Max.
is, how much time will it take?
To evacuate hundreds of people. Also, how many people can this place reasonably hold? It's not a city, it's a village.
Well, it's like
but
a
it's
town.
decently sized.
It's like a town. So there
Right.
is a village down below, and there's like basic quarters inside the castle, and there's like the royal quarters that she was mentioning for the 10 lords of the Ceriehm Order. But you could probably hold maybe 3,000 people. The village
Yeah,
down
okay,
below it's big enough to hold quite a few people. I mean, Tydean
many-
itself had probably 70,000 after a lot of people died. But so there's still a lot of people left, but they're running out of space. When you recall, where they're putting people,
So wait, how many people were in Tydean?
70K,
Okay.
70,000 people.
How many of those are people who can't fight?
Maybe 60% can't really fight, and they're kind of pulling older people who shouldn't be fighting, and any able bodies that maybe young women and boys that can fight, But there's a big chunk of people who just can't fight. They
Right.
have like no ability to fight.
So we can hold a lot of people, but not a
Chil-
Tydean.
Tallulah would probably know that information.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. So we won't be able to save all, but I think saving some is worth it.
I agree. Okay, so teleport, to use Adobe's words, is in the 7th sphere of magic. So I can cast it twice a day. The airship holds how many people?
3,000.
500 people on the airship.
500 people?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
So we can take 1,000 people here in one day if we can board them all. Actually, no, I don't know if that's even true because we need to teleport it back.
The time to travel and load people is going to take too much.
I mean, you don't have to be present for that.
No, we could just send the ship.
That's true.
And not Nettie. What is the gnome's name?
Trixie?
Trixie! I mean, and Trixie might have a way to teleport or do something like that. She's...
I mean,
Well,
maybe not
quite
Trixie,
handy.
maybe somebody else do what Judeau
Somebody else,
did.
yeah, I mean, Trixie's quite handy and somebody else may know something. I say we at least propose the plan
Okay.
to the people who can help make it happen, and if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But it's worth trying.
And you all
Right.
still have 3 or 4 days before the proposed new moon Victor attack. So potentially that's several back and forth trips if you're thinking it that way.
Well,
Do we have any idea how long it...
75,000 is a lot of people.
Well, I think we can only take like 2,000 to 3,000 here.
Yeah, that would fit comfortably.
So now you want to choose?
No, I say that we do what we can. I would base it purely, I don't know, volunteer base. I'm not
Family?
sure.
Friends?
Yeah.
While you all are kind of processing this, Jadobi, what was your perception check?
27 perception.
27. You take 15, 20 minutes, and you kind of walk into the rooms, each of the rooms on the first floor anyway, and investigate. You find a lot of very nice things, but nothing that fits that description yet.
There's so many places I can still look, though, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of bedrooms and other rooms upstairs. And actually, as you're in that main hall, kind of contemplating, you do see Denahi walking on one of the balconies into one of the rooms.
Hey, D. I keep walking. I will go to the next room and look. You know what, DM? How about this? I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
Realistically, where do I feel? What rooms should be at the top of my list to look for this kind of thing?
Well,
because I mean, treasure is everywhere,
sure.
more or less, right?
So with that investigation check and your knowledge of the Ceriehm Order and all those things, those are very fine items that would be kept in like a china cabinet kind of thing. So,
Which is fine.
The knowledge that she gave you about the rooms and the quarters upstairs, that could be a good place if any of the other people could do essentially the same thing. Maybe your grandfather had a room, like that would, people who would do the same thing that you're trying to do. So there's a lot of places where people would keep those kind of things for safekeeping.
Oh.
Like
Okay,
a vault, like a mini vault kind of thing. That's what I was looking for.
Gotcha. So plan of action. I'm going to try for a china cabinet. Then I'm going to see if I can find Granddad's room. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Do a wisdom save for me. And what are the three of you doing? As you're still having conversation?
Having ethical debates, apparently.
Yeah, I maybe we just leave it up to King Max. He's the king, he's in charge of these people, he's been getting to know the people. Maybe it's just up to him who gets chosen first.
Maybe
because
by choosing anyone, we're acting as if we are the gods.
No, I mean, I wouldn't say that.
I mean, is it better to choose no one? I don't think that's right.
I don't think so either. I mean,
Well,
it's my hometown. I understand that, like, I might be a little more, blinded by passion or whatever the hell, but it's like, we have to try and save somebody. And if we can save 3,000, that's better than everyone dying if we fail. Which I
Fine.
think is a possibility that we have to consider.
What do you need from us?
Where is Jadobi? What is he doing?
And Denahi, she's not here either.
Yeah, it's just the three of you.
Oh, you never know.
Well, we'll get Jadobi's opinion on it. He's going to have lots to say.
I'm sure.
So
I go searching for Jadobi.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we all go in Moss, or I follow.
As you all go searching for Jadobi and you get to the main hall, can all three of you make a wisdom save too for me? Jadobi, what'd you get?
Wisdom save.
I thought that was a 1 for a minute.
I got a 23.
23. You succeed. You feel this kind of tingling sensation in your mind, and almost like muscle memory, you start walking up the stairs towards a room. And at the front of this room, it's called the Jade Room. And as you walk into the room, the bed and the tapestries inside of the room is very green. It's very elegant. It's very druid. And you walk into this room, and on the left side of this room has kind of like glass. The best thing I can think about, like Peter Pan windows, like where the glass doors open up and there's like a little balcony right there. So you are in the Jade Room, as you just kind of feel like you were pulled in that direction.
Huh. Do I see any like pictures or anything?
Do perception check or investigation. What was everyone else's wisdom? 8?
Oh, 20.
20.
14.
14. Tallulah, as you continue to walk, you kind of feel like you were pulled in this direction, and there's a room called the Ruby Room. And as you walk into this room, it has
Ruby Room!
It has red tapestries. There is a very nice sized bed inside of this space, and it has almost like the canopy beds where there's like the 4 posts, and there's the very nice elegant cloth coming down. There's a desk on the other side, and there's a very large fireplace with 2 what looks to be like gargoyle-esque looking things coming out the side of this. And your room also has a balcony as well.
On your way to Flustin Paradise!
I walk over to the desk to look through the items to see if I can see whose room this was.
Sure, you can do an investigation check. Torque, as you continue to walk around looking for Jadobi as well, you walk into the Argonaut Room. And the Argonaut Room is like this, lots of reds and oranges in this space. And this room is actually a little different. It looks a little, what's the word? Not quite gothic, but kind of gothic, where there's a giant, almost like stained glass, but it's not stained glass, but it's shaped the same way. Lots of very cylinder, very small slivers of glasswork, and there's like a round circle, and the light is beating in. This space is very large. The doorway itself was very large, which you would kind of insinuate that this space was, a Goliath or maybe an orc or some other large, creature stayed here. In that time, and there's desk and a bed and a fireplace and all sorts of things in this space as well. You kind of walk in, and it's a surreal feeling that you all are having as you're walking through these spaces. It feels like the house is bonding or connecting with you.
Interesting.
Cerise, you're kind of you're not being spazzy. That's not the right word, but you're kind of flying around and you're seeing everyone almost like sleepwalk into a different way. And you're curious and you're nervous, and you just kind of see everyone just start walking to rooms. What do you want to do?
Does she see Jadobi?
Perception check.
19.
19. You start flying around and you do see Jadobi, but as you get closer to one of those rooms, please make a wisdom save. And Denahi walks into an amethyst room, and since Denahi's not here, but maybe she's watching, she walks into an amethyst room with dark purples and blacks, drapery, and same thing. It's a very elegant room. There's fireplace and a balcony, and there's lots of knickknacks and things. And I'll roll a perception check for her as well. Ooh, another natural 20. Nice. What was your...
I got a natural 20 perception too.
Awesome.
Just wanted to share.
6.
6. So as you get closer to Jajobi's room, you kind of, something catches your eye, and there's like a what the hell is it called? Like a little gem outside of another room, which is right next to Jajobi's room. A little like rose quartz, like a little like a light pink gem, kind of catches your eye. You fly over and you walk into this, and this is the rose quartz room. And this room is a little different than the other rooms in description. There's a lot of like wooden carved archways inside of the room, and the room itself is almost circular. And there is a balcony and a walkway out there, and there's there's a bed and there's a desk and there is a fire. Like each room has like the basics of a bedroom, but this room is very, very pink, very rose quartz. Yeah. Is everybody else doing?
I got a 13,
13
on my perception check in my grandfather's room.
So you look around and you find one picture that is still remaining, and it is of your grandmother. And hanging on the wall next to that looks to be a very small, thin chain necklace with a gem on it. And the gem itself is like white. It's like a white gem, not a pearl, but like a white crystal.
I'll kind of because I think I'm in the room alone with my grandfather's spirit in my bracer, and I'll speak out to him. Does this look familiar?
And you hear this. Jadobi, where are we?
It seems we are in the headquarters of the Ceriehm Order, and I think I might be in your bedroom.
The city of Valari is not destroyed?
No, it's not. A funny thing, actually, we met a really cool lady. Her name is Ariel, or Athoria.
He starts to laugh.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And she left you this place?
She did, kind of in a rage, because she went to go fight the Death Dragon, but
yes, yeah. They go way back to the Dragon Wars.
You were not sleeping during that entire situation, were you?
Yes, I was.
Well, what can you tell me about this this necklace? It's very pretty.
Oh, the necklace is still there. Oh,
yeah.
Thank the gods. Those necklaces allowed the Ceriehm Order to travel freely from the city of Valari through the portals or teleportals and all that jazz to wherever they want to go and come back. If you do not possess those gems, you cannot travel to this city.
Good to know. Good to know. Thanks for that information. I'll go ahead and take that. I'll put it in one of my belt pockets. Also, since I have you, like we're on the phone or something, I'm looking for a gem encrusted chalice for a spell of mine. I have one in my possession, but it would always be good to have another. Do you have any idea where I could find one here? Or if there is one here?
Why don't you do me a favor and pick up your grandmother's picture?
I gently pick up my grandmother's painting.
As you pick up the painting is roughly 12 inches by maybe 15 inches. As you pick it up, as you go to pick it up, it only comes off the wall maybe like 2 inches, and you hear it click, and you watch as the painting and the wall behind the painting opens up, and it reveals the opening of it is about the same size as the painting, but inside it's about 3 feet deep, and it does open up a little bit, so it's about 2 feet by 3 feet, a little like hidden vault.
What do I see in the vault? Is the vault open?
The vault is open. You see 2 of the chalices that you are looking for, several bags of coin, and some gems, and some other, precious things in there.
It's always good for a druid to have this secret vaults, I'm learning.
Yes. Comes in handy.
These are crafty ones.
I'm going to take one of the chalices.
Okay.
And I'm going to take probably just like a handful. I think I'm set with gems. I want to leave the gems there. I'm just going to take the chalice.
Okay.
And the very last thing, DM, I'll wait. I'll hold it for there for now.
Okay.
And I'll go to Denahi in this amethyst room.
Okay. And Denahi rolled a natural 20, and she, as you go in, it's almost a ridiculous sight. She has gems and necklaces just hanging off her antlers, and she's just like there's like 6 rings on each finger, and she's just kind of being silly at this moment. But she does have the same.
She's doing a Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, she has the same necklace that you have, and she's kind of looking at it.
So Denahi, definitely keep that necklace. It's really important. That's what's gonna get us back here when we go through the portals.
Oh, I will.
Otherwise, we would have never be able to come back here. You are really decked out, Denahi.
Just seeing what I like. And she looks around her stuff.
Are we
in the nature that I should be?
You know what? I look around her room. Do I see any paintings or anything of anyone?
With your passive perception, you do see some, yes.
Do any of them stick out? Do I recognize any of the people?
Yeah, you go around and you kind of do what you did with that one, and nothing seems to do the same thing that just happened.
Oh, I wasn't looking for like a special role. I was looking for to see if there's any pictures of friends together or family or something.
No, nothing like that. A lot of it's more artwork, not like portrait work. But yeah, that's it.
Holy crud! All right, cool. Cool. Are we on the balcony by any chance?
Sure, you can be on the balcony.
When we walk out on the balcony,
is there a nice moon or sun or something?
The sun's out of space.
Are they under the moonlit sky?
Yeah.
I look around outside of the balcony.
It's gorgeous.
Do I see the other balconies from the other rooms out here?
No. So each balcony, the way that this castle is set up, it's almost circular. So each balcony, you're very, very private. So you can go out there, you can have a moment without anybody like, hey, like your neighbor at the hotel.
What you doing?
Yelling at you. Her view is pretty nice. It does kind of get a bird's eye of, not necessarily where the garden is. Like, Jadobi, your balcony goes. You literally can see the tree from your balcony, and then the garden and everything else. Denahi's to the left of you, so she sees some of that on the right-hand side, but then it kind of goes out to the expanse of almost like the end of the island and then everything else. And Ceriehm is actually on the other side. But for brevity, the Tallulah and Torque, you do find some just knickknacks and gold and trinkets, but you all do see they're not hanging up. They're on like little pedestals. You do see very similar gems. Ceriehm, can you make a perception check for me?
Yeah. Can I also establish some things about my room? Ooh.
Sure.
So okay, that's a synthetic 20 perception.
Okay.
I think on the wall there's a painting of the soccer award. So there's cherry trees painted on the wall, and she's just having a moment with King's friend, cherry trees. Also, if there is a little cherry tree in the room.
Sure.
She cuts it down.
So it's very this castle is very magical. It feels like each room has kind of shifted itself to fit its wielder, or it's the Ceriehm Order definitely has a typecast of people that fit this bill that can, you need all these pieces to do this, right? Which is why when they went back in time, they kind of fit the bill for a few of those different things. I'm going to send you something that you just found in a second. Is anybody else doing anything else? And I did send pictures, by the way, so you know what your rooms kind of look like.
I mean, I had natural 20, like, looking at, like, the desk. And
well, that's how you got the gem, and there was other...
Fine.
Yeah, there's other things there. There's nothing else that sticks out other than that specific thing.
So I can't tell, like, who nerds know who was in this room, or documents, or...
Nothing like that, no. Anything like that looks like it might have deteriorated over time. Anything paper-esque.
Sorry, you can keep everything clean, but you can't keep a piece of paper around.
Or it's been taken out. There's very obvious where things, like the library, like half the library is missing. So there was something that happened in this space. Yeah.
Before I leave the room to do one last thing, I'm gonna tap the ear cuff for everyone here. Just so everyone knows, in the rooms there should be a necklace with kind of a pearl crystal on there. Definitely take that necklace. This is what's gonna get us back here. It's kind of like a key. Very important. And then after I say that, I'm gonna go. The last thing that I'm gonna look for that I would like to have and that I need, I'm gonna look for a golden sickle.
Okay. You can roll a perception check for that too. So Cerise, as you're in your room and you're looking at the trees and you're kind of looking at all these things, you see a what looks to be like a box. The box itself. Trying to examine it might be like the size of this tray, but as a full square, right? The box is maybe 5 inches by 5 inches, that is sitting kind of isolated on the end of a coffee table.
Okay.
What?
He was talking to Cerise, right?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. What? No. Okay, a box at the coffee table.
Yes, there's like a 5 inch by 5 inch metallic box at the end of the coffee table in your room.
I open it.
Okay. And as you get closer to this box is a lead box.
Oh.
And inside of the lead box is a very small cube. This cube is 3 inches by 3 inches by 3 inches. Do an investigation. No, do an Arcana check.
Yeah.
So it's
then
like
it turns into a ball.
It's like it's like the size of an Rubik's cube.
It's phantasm.
Oh, that's a good Arcana. 26.
26. So as you look at this square, it's kind of almost like it's the magical energy in this is like pulsating. And as you look at each side has like a rune or an icon on either side. One is of water, one is of fire, one is of earth, one is of air, one is a tree, and the other is a shadow.
Cerise approaches this with extreme caution because she figures it was in a lead box for a reason. But I suppose I probably picked it up to see all those symbols.
Yeah. I would say you picked it up and did that.
She has a feeling that this is a plane shifting. So, okay, can she figure out anything else about it? Like, her assumption is that this has to do with planes travel.
Sure. So I would say with the amount of time that everyone else has been looking around and you went to the room and you went to go find Jadobi, but you went to your own room and you found this thing, an hour might have gone by with all of that time, and you've kind of just been looking at this item for that amount of time. I sent you a link, but it is a cubic gate, which allows you to cast the gate spell or plane shift, depending on which button that you push.
That's exciting.
Oh shit! The gate spell is no joke.
Yeah. And to the Fae or the Shadow Ward as well as all the elemental planes. Cerise, like, carefully puts it back in the lead box, puts it in her bag of holding, and then she's just like, "You'll never believe what I just found." She's like running out of the hallway and like flying to different rooms.
What'd you find?
Oh, I keep forgetting we have these ear cuffs things.
Yeah, you're kind of.
She's like standing at your door and you're like rubbing your ear.
What's so exciting?
I just found an item that can create a planar gate to any of the planes.
What just happened? Robot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
What?
Okay.
Was I a robot?
Yeah. Could you say that one more time?
Yes. This. Yeah, it is a lot. I don't know. I forget what part.
Because
what
yeah,
robot?
if I hear robot, which means everyone else heard robot, because your audio goes through me to the stream.
I heard her.
I heard her.
Oh, okay.
Secret.
But yeah, the stream for the viewers. Yeah. So that we have a lot of options. Shoot, how often can I do this? She pulls out this box that's like in lead and she like carefully opens it.
The cube has 3 charges.
Whoa.
Each use of the cube expends 1 charge. You get 1d3 charges daily at dawn.
Good to know.
That seems really, really intense. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Good to know. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
They have like the craziest things in these rooms.
What did you find?
I found the necklace. My grandfather had a secret compartment in his wall, like behind a painting. It was like it had all kinds of really expensive things for like really heavy magic casting. So that was cool. Yeah. But I'm on my way to look for a golden sickle. So I'll catch you in a minute. And I kind of walk away and I start looking for a golden sickle. And I rolled a 12 on my perception check to find one.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, you've looked at this whole place you pretty thoroughly looked through this whole place. You didn't find any golden sickle yet, anyway. But you recalling what was in the safe, there were some herbs and other material components in there as well, and as well as some very large, looks to be very expensive diamonds were in there as well. So if
I take them.
Yeah.
I took them. That's important.
You were looking for mistletoe, right?
Well, so for this specific thing, I need a golden sickle to cut the mistletoe at a very specific time of day. But if there's mistletoe in there, hey,
The heck
I'll take
is
it.
this for?
Yeah, do a nature check for me. Anybody else doing anything else?
He's doing some wild shit, apparently.
Shit. Damn it. Okay. Nature check. Let me look at
You know the druid. He does wild, crazy things.
Right? It's kind of crazy.
Wild and crazy kids.
15 total nature.
Crazy guys.
What's that?
15 total nature.
15 total. I mean, you're looking at it and understanding your grandfather and him being a druid. These are all spell components. You know, there's only so many uses for mistletoe, so.
I take them all. I didn't know. I'll take them all. I just like, this is very important. I'll take everything.
And you grab 3 diamonds, and each of the diamonds look like they're worth 1,000 gold pieces.
Good to know.
And he's not already there raiding and pillaging?
She has her own pile of loot. All right, so everyone, you gather some items from your spaces. You grab the necklaces that Jadobi had informed you that were needed to go through and come back through those elemental portals, What do y'all want to do?
All right, I've gotten everything that I think I need. I think I'm set to go. How about you all?
Yes. We had a plan we wanted to talk to you about.
Oh, what is it? Yeah.
This place can hold quite a lot of people.
Yes,
The
it can.
airship can hold quite a lot of people.
It can. Yes.
Why not take the people out of Tydean and bring them here?
That. You mean like the civilians?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a smart idea. You know, I was actually thinking to myself privately. I was thinking that maybe we could bring, because you know the rough plan that we have is to have Victor's army, you know, go to Tydean, fight Tydean, whatever, and we would go to a different place and coax him to come to us, weakening his army and potentially weakening him himself, because we could focus more on him and not fighting him and his army.
Right.
I was kind of thinking that maybe we could use this place as battlegrounds, but maybe that's bad.
Well,
it might be bad with the big giant vault here.
I thought we were considering doing that at the Verdant Plateau so we could chase him straight into the Shadow Ward.
I was thinking that, but I feel like if we coaxed him to the Verdant Plateau, I mean, it would work, he would definitely come, but I feel like that would give him a heads up, like, oh, we're coming for you again once you're gone. So maybe it will kind of like he'll put up more barriers. But then again, I don't know if he goes back after we kill him, if he's a fetus, or if he's full grown. I don't know how it works. But that was kind of my idea.
Fetus.
Because you know he has to go back to kind of like repower himself or something.
I'm sure he's himself. He just is weakened.
Okay.
But I see what you mean. I don't want. I mean, this was the headquarters of this order for thousands of years. I mean, I don't think we should leave Victor straight to the door.
I mean, it's such a nice place.
Okay. Talk.
I say we just.
Well?
I just know that if we try to store people here, he has domain over that. If we bring him here, he may have equal domain over anything else. I don't know.
I feel like, and with the portals here, Victor would have direct access to all the other wards.
That's true.
I wonder, because Torque has a point too. If we were to bring all of those people here, Victor has ways of peering into our minds. What's to say that he won't? Once he sees us,
as long as we're not scrying on him, Jadobi.
Well, I would never do that here, Tallulah. I get it, but I'm just saying, there's a chance that he would know. That
how would he know?
I don't know. I had no idea that he could find me through a scry that I was doing.
But that's the thing, is you were directly scrying him. You were actually actively trying to contact somebody near him. If we're not trying to do that, how could he possibly have a connection to us? My connection with Rosalind is gone.
It is, but remember, my nephew is on Victor's side. My nephew knew about my son and told Victor, and he wasn't even around.
Okay, here's what I...
Do you have anything connected to your nephew on you?
I don't. I think about it. I don't believe I do, but I think about it, DM. Do I?
No, I mean, I don't think any items per se, but if a creature understands you or knows you personally, that's enough to scry on somebody. Or do what some of the vampire scry, which is slightly different than normal scry, does. Joby, make a wisdom save for me.
While I do this, you were going to say something, Cerise?
I was. If I may point out, literally anywhere we take them, has the same issue. This is a place that Victor doesn't know is back or exists. So it seems like this is probably one of the safest places in the material plane, period. Plus, although this is also a little bit confusing to me, you said these necklaces, you can only travel here if you have one of them?
I think he said from the other planes.
From the other doors to the planes. You know how there's like different doors and it's a direct doorway into
I think you can travel here. That's why the tree is here. So you could travel here from anywhere on the material plane. So we could
She's
teleport. Yeah. So we could teleport here. They don't have to all have necklaces. If that's
What was your save, Jadobi?
29.
29. So during this conversation, Oros steps in and does speak. So to clarify, those necklaces allow you, anyone who's wearing the necklace, to walk through the elemental plane doors or the tree and come back to open those gateways. So the elemental doors are kind of a one-way thing, and then you have to use the teleportation circle or the tree. You can't use the tree. The teleportation circle to vamp back, or you do plane shift and come back, right? So those elemental doors are a one-way door. They take you to an elemental plane location to be determined.
So are you? I'll continue. I'm sorry.
But in order to plane shift to this island, in order to use a teleportation circle to this island, the person casting the spell has to have one of the necklaces that is bound to you from being a resident owner of this place. So you all are now kind of soul bound since you've accepted it and you've gone to your rooms, and this room is linked to you. You are soul bound to this place. So you couldn't like give this necklace to somebody else and they would attune to it and they would come. They would have to come here and then be accepted by the magical essence of the castle to do that. But you could, in theory, you could do plane shift on the boat. You could do maybe teleportation circle on the boat to transport the boat to, you know, like the front door kind of thing. Because whoever's casting the spell has the necklace.
So importantly, Victor couldn't do any of those things.
Correct.
That's what I'm thinking.
So circling back to Jadobi's wisdom save, Aros does chime in, and he says, "Only wearers of the necklaces can communicate from this island and back to this island. You can scry on whoever the fuck you want to scry on, and they will never know where you are. This island is hidden. There's no time for language, dear grandson."
Well, that's good to know. Everything here is protected, and even scrying is safe here. I look at Tallulah when I say that.
Interesting. So, everything I just said was correct. So we should bring people here.
How much time would that take?
A lot.
And
I don't think it's going to take as much time as you think it is.
And who would you choose?
Not nobody.
DM, if we were, let's say we told the people to travel here to this point with the airship, all right? Let's say we told them that, and we gave, I don't know, Trixie the necklace. They would be able to come here, yes?
Well, he just said we couldn't give the necklace to somebody.
Trixie would have to come here and...
and be accepted.
And be accepted. So...
Didn't King Max put you guys in the order? Was that...
No, it was the whole situation when we went back in time that was kind of crazy.
Your people were kind of like destined by fate to be part of this order, which is kind of the essence of the entire
bound by fate?
So to answer your question, to just fly here would probably take a week with Cerise on the ship if she flew directly here. If she knew exactly where it was, which is very near impossible to find. If you all... There's a lot of different combinations you could do. Cerise had said that she could do plane shift twice or teleport.
Teleport.
So in theory, you could teleport the ship to like the garden area. You can unload. You teleport back. You wait a day, or now you have the cube. So technically, you could do the cube too. So you can do 2 trips a day.
Munchkin this.
You
teleport. You teleport. Get a load of people. Then we use our cubic gate. Plane shift back to somewhere else where it's slow. rest a day, go back, and then it's only been like 5 minutes.
After we have this conversation in character, I'll look to everyone and to Lula. All right, we will try. Once we've gotten all the gems and we're ready to take action and prepare on our plane, we'll try. Okay?
I just want us to try.
I put up my hand for her to shake.
I shake it.
All right. Are we ready to go?
To the Earth Ward? Or do we want to go?
Water ward. We have to go back to the water.
We still need the gym.
Yeah. We're not done there.
Okay.
Are we? Unless there's anything else that someone wants to do before we head out. Now's the time. Okay.
I better take a big deep breath of material ward air.
Wait. There was a private gate in the treasure room. We never figured out where that went. I don't know if there's a way, but can you ask your... Yeah. I see you're going...
Hey, Eros.
Yes.
Do you know where that gate leads?
Which gate are you referring to?
The teleportation circle downstairs in the treasure room.
I mean, there are 2 teleportation circles in this castle. There's one in the main hall, and there's a slightly different one in the vault room. That is for you to return to this location.
All right, they don't go anywhere in particular. They're just like a circle to come back here. Yes.
Correct. I mean, you can use them to if you need a teleportation circle to go somewhere else. You can do that. Yeah. What Ceriehm is talking about is the 3rd gate, which is not native to this place. Where there was another gate that was kind of hidden in the vault gate, which was
right. There was like a teleportation circle, and there was like another one within that same teleportation circle. If I'm remembering correct.
Yes, but it was kind of hidden. But you rolled high enough to identify that someone hid a secret door to get either in or out of this place.
Yeah.
Arrow. So there's a third teleportation circle within a circle.
I did not know of this. That is new.
Ceriehm.
Yeah.
That teleportation circle that you saw within the actual circle, was it written in chalk or was it inscribed in the stone? What was it? Can you remind me?
It was not nearly as permanent as the other one. The other one is a very permanent, like, magical carving in the ground. This one was like someone had etched this somewhat recently in the space.
Ceriehm. Okay. Yeah. Since we don't know that other inscribed circle, can you do your thing to see the history of that circle like you did with the armor?
Oh,
can you do that?
Maybe if it's part of legendary lore, and I noticed some incense while I was walking around.
If I'll give you some of mine. My room was kind of filled with it, but if anything within these walls, I would say is legendary. So I think
that's probably true.
What are the parameters of the spell, if you could remind me?
Yeah, why don't I just read it to you?
And also, as Teresa's kind of like thinking of that spell, I'm gonna look to Tallulah. Tallulah, you told me that Rosalind taught you something. When you focus on an item, you can see its past or its dark past or something. You called it grim psychometry or something like that. I can't. You've been cursed by the mutes again.
Chris, I just sent you the spell description.
Yes. Yeah. If I concentrate on something really hard, I can sort of learn some vague, very vague, details as long as I think hard enough.
Okay, so maybe our options before Ceriehm does this powerful thing that requires kind of a ritual, maybe we can try your gift first to see what we can get, and then if we need more, we can turn to Ceriehm to try. How's that sound?
That's fine. Are you talking about the teleportation circle?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, why not?
So what are you trying to do specifically?
It's Grim Psychometry.
Okay.
Once per short rest, you can spend 10 minutes to meditate on an object and learn vague details about its past with a wisdom check, DC determined by the DM.
Yeah, sure, why not? Roll a wisdom check. You all go down to the vault.
Yep.
And check it out.
Talk, we're doing a thing. We need you.
Woo!
Let's go.
Denahi, we need you too.
Let's go find out some vague details.
Yeah.
23.
23. That is just enough. You take a look at this circle. Can you do an Arcana check too for me, just for giggles?
Sure.
So you take a look at this teleportation
3.
circle. 3.
Yeah.
Denahi is really good with Arcana. She can help. Maybe she can roll 2.
Oh my fucking god! Another natural 20. All 3 rolls I did for Denahi were natural 20s.
That's
Whatever.
more
She
than
never
Aiden
rolls
has
like
had
that.
this entire campaign.
Right.
so-
She never.
I'm gonna
rolls
send her
like
these
that.
dice.
You should.
Die Hard Dice. They're not a sponsor really, but go for it. So you take some time, and with the help of your friends, everyone's kind of there giving their input on this. You do find the teleportation circle that is hidden within this main one from Cerise. You do identify that Azuko created this teleportation circle to get from his location or lair and back to here. So he was trying to open it up to get back to his place.
Tallulah, that's huge. Whoa.
And it's like a one-use thing. So it was like an escape. So
I
he was
see.
coming here to get something, and then he was gonna get the fuck out of Dodge. So once it's used once, it disappears.
It's disappeared. It's gone.
After she tells me that, I look at her. Tallulah. So Azuko was a lich, yes? An
Do we know
undead,
that?
an uncast. I saw your weapons did everyone's weapons did a lot of damage to them that normally only happens with an undead creature.
You're right. So
And they look like Voldemort.
Yes, your assumptions are true. Torque's weapon did a fuck ton of damage to it when he actually hit him. That he was of some sort of undead nature. Whether he's a lich specifically or not, you're not sure. So you don't know if he has a phylactery or whatever the fuck it's called. If that's what you're saying.
Factory.
There you go. But
So-
he did possess a lot of lich things. Like the disintegrate is a lich characteristic.
Okay, so I continue speaking to Tallulah, and of course everyone else also. So an undead mage, generally, not all. Of course, there's some specific things, but I'm gonna assume that he was a lich. And what do all liches have in common, more or less?
They're scary.
They were wizards once, or mages.
They have phylacteries to bring them back, to escape death, true death. If this sigil takes us to his lair, maybe we can go there to make sure his phylactery is destroyed if he has one. I'm not sure, but it's something to think about. Otherwise, he'll just come back.
And you think it's in the water world? Water world. Water ward.
I know it's really hard to say with an accent. I know.
Water ward.
Yes, I think it is in the water ward. you remember
The water ward.
Water ward.
the warden druid there told us that he
Near
stayed near the ghostly vanguard. So
That's true.
I think maybe it's worth a trip to make sure he's gone for good.
Is that a pressing matter right now?
And this isn't really important right now, but if we're going back when we report in, what did we do with his head? There are a lot of people who wanted that head.
We
We're
still
gonna-
have it.
We're gonna give it to
It's in the bag.
Okay.
we're gonna give it to Kato over there.
It's
He-
in Ingrid's icebox or something.
Yeah, that's right. it's in there.
That's a great band name. Ingrid's
So-
Icebox. I think that's gotta have to be a new band.
I think it's a very pressing matter to make sure he's gone for good.
I mean, well, if we're thinking back to, say, the Earth Ward, their task was to kill a lich, so who's to say that the Water Ward's gem is with him too? But I do think we should check back in with Takato first, see how to get the gem, and if it coincides, it coincides.
Well, we already know how to get the... I'm sorry, go ahead, Cerise.
Oh, well, I just... Point of order, a teleport spell usually only works on the same plane. I don't know if this would still work, now that we've...
Moved.
Oh, good point. Good point, Cerise. Maybe we should just erase the inscription. Just, like, carve through it and be done.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I don't know if there's anything extra special about this one, but...
Yeah, let's just get rid of it.
No?
So,
You can always try.
But also, other point of order, I don't want to go into a potentially lich's lair
without resting.
Yeah, that.
I agree. So
I think it's worth like destroying it, so then like, you know, that he can't come back and he can't come back into here. But if Cerise is right that he couldn't do it on the different plane anyway, then it's.
You talk too much. And Denahi hits her chest, and Nico flies out of her chest, and his phoenix form kind of flies there and casts the spell magic on the circle.
Shit! Both of them, or just the other one?
Just the main one is not dispellable, but she casts it on the smaller one, and you watch as the runes start to sizzle and dissipate.
I look at her just well, all right.
Well, that's one way to do it.
That shut us up. Definitely, it did. Well, off to the water ward again.
That's probably what you would have really done too, by the way.
You know, maybe no, it's the material plane. We probably shouldn't.
Yeah, we shouldn't rest here.
Too much time we want to lay in the big ruby bed.
Yeah, there's always time after the big fight.
Hopefully.
Let's go. I start walking towards the back upstairs and everything towards the water ward gate.
Okay. So you head back to the water ward gate. The five of you are standing at the gate.
Walk through without saying
Can we see where we're gonna come out?
Say again?
Can we see where we're gonna come out through this gate?
No, it's just water.
Okay.
Wait, question. Are these earpieces interplanal?
I highly doubt it.
No, it's like a mile range.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Off you go, Jadobi, and I like hit his back.
I go in.
So as you get closer, as you put your foot on the first step before you take the second one to go through the door, you watch as the rippling effect on this wall comes forward and almost like suctions to your face, and you feel your body get pulled, and you all watch as Jadobi's form just disappears.
Oh, you know what? We probably should have had him cast breathe underwater.
Oh, I knew him well. Jadobi.
No,
he's gone.
Where did you get that?
Don't send me into that thing.
Torg, where did you get a skull?
He has lots of skulls.
They're lying everywhere around here.
What?
I can't even describe what kind of music that was that just happened.
Alright, well, let's hope we don't suffocate.
I have my circlet still.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have one, I think.
Well, it's okay, it's only been like 2 or 3 hours since we left. Because we had the water breathing spell on when we got there. It's probably been like...
I mean, but it's been a while in the water ward,
That's
so...
true. How many... Is it a 24 hours?
It's a 24-hour spell.
I think you probably have a few hours left.
Denahi walks between you two and walks through the gate.
It's been more than 24 hours because we rested and slept.
No, I don't think we have.
Yes, we did, with the little snail, and I punched it.
What?
In the water ward.
That was back in the city.
Oh, you're the hermit crab, but...
It's been a long time since that.
No,
that's what I mean. It's like we haven't cast it since before that.
We cast it right after we left because there was the on the back of the turtle.
So
I don't remember that happening.
So
and
in-
I
do.
jumped through the portal. It doesn't matter.
The way that spells work is where you cast the spell. That's the timer. You've already been in the material plane for about 2 hours.
No, yes.
So
but
that spell's gone. It's 24 hours in the water ward, which goes. It's.
See,
That's
now
what
now I have to step in now.
See, that's
So
what I thought.
I cast the spell before we left the city, and
Mhm.
it only took us like 8 hours
Sure.
or so to get to where we were. 24-hour spell. The spell travels. Since it's on us, wherever we go, the spell travels with us in whatever time we're in. So it's still active. Please continue.
Whatever. I walk through the portal. It doesn't
Okay.
matter if I die. Just kill me.
So Lula, and then Cerise follows her.
Torek, you're left there by yourself.
I guess so.
Are you going through the portal?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. So
I look around and be like, what the hell?
So you all enter the portal, and you arrive in the city of Sodore. You
that's
are right in front of the capital of the city. So this gate took you to the city.
Convenient.
That is really convenient. Wow. Oh well. I mean, it makes sense though, since.
Yeah. Why else make a gate to a plane?
I mean, I get it.
Um,
I get it.
Okay, so I'm just meta thinking. I haven't used the ring yet. The ring of communication. I haven't talked to anyone today. I don't
No.
think. Yeah, because I just wanted to go. All right. So when we arrive in the city of Sador, I look around like, oh, we should probably ring Sindri to let him know that you should just go back to the city. Because we kind of left him there by accident.
That's true. God, how long have we been gone?
Oh.
2 hours. Two hours in the material plane.
Right, but how long is that in water war time? You should probably.
Oops. You're right. I'm gonna
I'm
think
not
of
gonna
Sindri.
say that I wanted to go, but you know.
We know. I'm gonna. What am I doing with my ear? I'm gonna use
My
the
ears
ring
showing.
and think about Sindri. Sindri, sorry. We got teleported out, and I think we've been gone for a while.
Yeah, you've been gone for quite a while. Where the hell did you go?
Well, so you remember the ruins that we were in, and then you guys left? Well, something happened, and we got we got flown to a different dimension, our own, and we were there for 2 hours. So I'm guessing we've been gone for weeks, or maybe a month or so. Yeah.
I mean, that's
Sorry.
Not quite. It's been about a week, maybe. Yes.
I just want you to know. Sorry, we didn't mean to leave you high and dry out there
That's
waiting
fine.
for us.
I'm also standing right behind you.
And then
Really?
we all turn around.
And he's
And
sitting.
then comedically, we turn around.
Yeah, he's just sitting there with Zook, and he was talking to somebody else, and just sees you.
How convenient. Then today should be called the day of convenience. This is all very strange. Interesting. Hi.
Sometimes life is strange, Jadobi.
It is very, very strange. Anywho, Talk, are you ready to give that head to Kato?
Sure.
I swim behind Torque to the
Okay.
spire.
Okay, so you get to the spire, you go through the door, and there you see Varys and his father Ducato standing and talking, and you see Varys kneel down, and he's looks to be speaking to Nyx.
I don't want to interrupt, but I'll just kind of like swim up into the space just so they know that we're present.
Welcome back, Jadobi, and friends. I appreciate you saving my son. And I hear you bring gifts.
Yeah, we do. Talk. I look back at him. Oh, God.
Fantastic.
But there's something that I wanted to bring up to you.
Yes.
Firstly, sorry we've been gone for so long. A situation happened, and we got teleported to a different plane. Sorry. We're back on track though. So I was thinking about Azuko. Though we have his head, he may be a lich, and he may have a phylactery where he would come back. I think it may be worth the time to go to the Ghostly Vanguard to make sure he's gone.
That's entirely up to you. Your quest is completed at your own pace. You know you have to go to the Kraken Cove. You do what you need to do.
Your quest is completed at your own pace. Only bring it back when you're ready to move on.
So
Sounds
wait,
like an NPC.
it does. So I guess he doesn't have the same rage after we give him the head. Like he's just like, oh well, it's whatever. Like if he comes back, it's cool.
You can do an insight check. It's not really him. Just kidding.
Ah!
Let's see.
I wouldn't put it past you.
I wouldn't. 35 insight.
He seems very joyful that his son has returned. So he's slightly distracted. You know, you do conversate with Sindri and Varus, you know, a little bit, and they waited there for a little while, and then eventually you were gone.
I assumed they would have seen the giant.
They didn't. It was kind of a ruse that the city had performed. So they waited there for a few days and then eventually returned back. So they just recently returned.
Few days? My
God.
God.
I feel so bad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
It was out of our control.
It's fine. I've only been gone 80 years. You only, made me wait 2 more days. It's fine.
Wow. Thank you for your loyalty. That speaks much. Well, all right. I'll leave you to handle your business.
Cerise sort of has been hesitating to say something, but she goes up and bows and she says, "Your Majesty, I don't know what your plans are, but I believe I have the power to cast resurrection." And she sort of just lets that hang in the air.
You need the power to cast resurrection, is what you're asking?
No, I have it for the queen.
Oh. Okay. I can't remember because it's been a few weeks. What spell did I cast?
You cast Power Word Kill.
Was it? It was
Power
Power
Word
kill on Nyx, and then she
Yes.
jumped in front.
Okay. He just kind of sits there and processes that for a second. You can talk amongst yourself while I figure this out.
Cerise, you know what? It far be it from me to say it won't work, and to have you not at least try. But for Power Word, for that, I think it's gonna take much more. But you can definitely try if you like.
I mean, she still has a body, right? Unlike Disintegrate.
I mean, yes,
You know what? True. That is true.
we did bury her, but yes.
Would you allow her to try, Dakasha? I don't know
If that's what the family wants.
if that's what they wish. We don't want to.
And Varus kind of stops talking, kind of takes a step back, and Ducato walks up. It's traveling from this life to another is a terrible journey. By all means, we can try, but the soul must be willing.
I know. And Cerise just looks... Cerise keeps glancing at Nyx. And the reason she wants to do this, if maybe written all over her face, is because she knows what it's like to be a little girl who's lost her family. And she has to believe that the mom would want to come back for her.
And what are you trying to cast, by the way, just so I know?
So just Resurrection. 7-level spell. She can. I think I actually do have to do a long rest before I can do this.
Got it.
But
easy enough.
Yeah.
So we'll say for the purpose of this, you conversate. Ducato says he's gonna sleep on it. The day of convenience.
Mm-hmm.
The day of lots of lore, right? So is there anything you like to do before you go to sleep? For the long rest to kind of recoup and then jump back into this?
I would, before we call it, do we want to kind of get a drink and kind of talk about the events that just happened?
Sure. Let's get an ale.
I'm not
Yes,
sure. If they
or a wine bag, as it was.
I was just about to say that. All right. So I would say that we get to the tasty well and sit down and like try to get some drinks. So we have a lot in front of us right now. This hidden island, all these new things we found in the treasure trove, different ways to maybe go against Victor. We met a fucking dragon of gold, an ancient dragon of gold. Can you believe that shit? And I take like a big inhale of the bag.
Is this a volcano? What's happening?
Yeah, I think you're in the inn, the bar, the tavern. With
I don't
the
think
liquid.
Eric was here when we described.
Oh, that's right. So it's like
Sorry, I stepped away for a moment.
No, it was
No,
the last stream. I think you were disconnected. So you're in the tavern where the coral reef is kind of spun around. There's little crustaceans. It's like a buffet table. You kind of pick at the coral reef and you eat it. And there's little sacks of liquid that you kind of put to your mouth and you drink wine or ale.
Okay.
So they're like little bags because you can't have liquid and liquid.
Right. A bag of ale.
I don't know. Just go with it. It's canon now, so we're fucked. Whatever.
Magic.
I like it. No, I like it a lot. So yeah, there's just a lot on the table now. Any thoughts? Any ideas? Anything at all?
Well, we have this giant stack of gold.
What would that do for us?
All
Just period, end of sentence. I mean, we have a giant stack of gold.
I just bust out
Are you
laughing because that's like
what's happening?
No, I'm just saying, like, we have it. We should
yeah,
maybe
we have
begin
it.
to brainstorm things to do with it.
DM
Bribing everybody that works for Victor.
as they talk about this back and forth about all this money and things what to do with it and all that. We talked about this in the way early days. There is kind of like a bank system in Ukodor, right?
Kind of.
Can you tell me, now that I'm thinking about it, what it is roughly at least? Like,
we only briefly spoke about it, about like a pocket plane bank system sort of thing, but it was actually something that we never really fully developed yet. However, you also know that it only counts with the major cities, and
which have all been taken over.
They've all been taken over, but even prior to that, all the inner city teleportation circles were closed, which means that's part of it. So each city it's its own thing. If everything was clean and good and everything was connected, then the four corners of Seros could communicate and transfer items and funds in like a pocket thing.
But that can't happen right now, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
you would
Yes,
know
yeah.
enough about everything else going on. Yeah, it would not work.
So well.
You potentially could communicate with whoever maybe created that once everything calms down and connect that pocket plane with your new home, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Totally up to you.
Okay.
Or you could just like maybe
Noted.
open up like a gate and stick your arm in and just grab a scoop and then come back out. I don't know if that works either. I'm kidding. Kind of.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was pretty insane. I guess to wrap everything up, the one really awesome thing that happened today that kind of smoothed everything over for me it kind of reminded me of what it was like before all of this, was Cerise's song.
She
My
is
dad's a great songwriter.
Well, you're a great performer.
You are.
Cerise turns pink.
May I ask you if you could sing it for us again?
Sure. Under the moonlit sky, you make me want to fly. So let me take your hand.
And we're back from that nonsense. You all missed a really good performance. No, the nonsense of the internet.
And I think that's what we're gonna call it.
I think that is what we're gonna call it.
All right. I think we're good now. Okay. So Cerise belts out another amazing hymn. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
So, Cerise, I think I'll just put this out here and we can discuss this more next time. After she sings this, it's making her think about her family, and she wants to come clean. So, yesterday, today, a week ago, time is so weird. I got a wish spell, and I want to use it to find a way to get my family out of the Shadow Ward.
So, in accordance with, hopefully, this shit doesn't kill us again, we're gonna go call it real quick. So,
Yeah.
Cerise, you start talking about using this wish to bring your family back, and it's a good way to kill it. So, thank you all for your support and this epic RP journey. We thank you all for your time, and we hope to see you all next week. Don't forget to catch the next episode of The Origins of Ukodor on Monday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the next chapter of The Realms of Ukodor, where we pick up here 6:30
probably
p.m.
pulling
Pacific
a
Standard Time, maybe next Wednesday, where we pick this up, and this is on mixer.com/fabled42 for anyone watching outside of this live stream, and we will see you all next week. So have a great night.
And I'll see you Monday.
Goodbye, everybody.